Welcome, everybody, to Mega Files on the Games Tavern. We're here to give you hopefully a fun and entertaining as well as horrifying story to go forward with. If you're watching us here live on Twitch, please make sure to follow us. It's free and it helps support all of the Games Tavern shows. If you're catching us on the YouTubes, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss when our episodes get posted. I am Sholem West. I am the keeper of our game tonight, and I can be found on this show as well as on the Three Cousins podcast, which is brand new. So come look us up if you get a chance. Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter as Grumpy Lizard 42, and I'll be playing Scraps, the hillbilly hobo, tonight.
Sean.
Evening, everybody. My name is Sean. I can be found on most social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and I like to kick around with these guys, playing as many strange games as they will let me get away with. Tonight, I'll be playing a character by the name of Tom Jones, no relation, yet also very much related.
Sally.
I'm Sally Stardust. You can find me on Instagram at Sally Stardust RVA, and I will be playing Rosie Stone, who is an elderly former vigilante.
Nice.
David.
I'm David. You can find me on Twitter at notorious_GMD. Tonight I will be playing Kyle Cooperdale, private detective.
Nice.
All right. And before we get into our story, the Elder Gods have, as always, demanded that we provide you a data feed. John, take it away.
Please understand that we have a couple of content warnings, and they are in no particular order of importance. These content warnings include abuse, animal death, self-harm, suicide, gratuitous violence, needles, kidnapping, death, blood, mental illness, tentacles, mutilations, mutations, shrubberies, insects, birds, blood, cats, dogs, drug use, chemicals and chemical usage, radiation, blizzards, firearms, perhaps more blood, explosions, interrogations, clowns, sarcasm, arson, threatening medical implementations, psychological torture, and something else that I can't quite remember. Also, the Omega Files stream will feature several points in the broadcast where you decide part of the narrative. That's right, you get to use this prime feature to vote in the chat to determine an effect somewhere in tonight's investigation.
Nice. And remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. Prime Gaming subscribers support everyone on the show and get access to sub-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel to the Games Tavern Discord.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and get into the investigation. So you all have found yourselves to be in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's March, so it's bone-chilling cold, and it's amazing how even in downtown, the wind whips through from the river, chilling you to the bone. Your burner cell phones go off, and you receive this phone call. You have been activated due to a matter of urgency in the Philadelphia area. A recent murder scene has been made available to us. It appears to be related to a string of murders around the Philadelphia area. You are to go to 145 Greenville Way, apartment number 104, where you will be met by one of our representatives, and then it turns off.
Good. Yes, murders, good for business.
Well,
Time to check out this murder.
cut vacation time short.
Why does it always have to be death? Always death.
And you do find yourself that it is 9 o'clock at night, so it is dark. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. And you can easily make it to Greenville Way. When you approach the apartment complex, you do notice that there is a police car parked in the street, just about a block down from the apartments, with all of the lights off.
Interesting.
I'm going to try to stealthily get past.
Okay. Well, as you get close, you can kind of make out that there are two people sitting in the front seat of the police car. they don't seem to be paying any attention to what's going on out and about. They're just kind of sitting there talking.
Is this location a apartment building?
Yes, it's actually an apartment complex. They are short 3-story apartment buildings, and it's a whole bunch of them. 104 happens to be right there up next to the road, though.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, Rosie, did you say that you're going to try to sneak past?
Well, I was going to, but now there's people in it. I did have one question. Do we see each other at this location yet?
You're gonna arrive at slightly different times, but
Okay.
relatively close to one another. If you want to wait until you see someone else you might know, you're more than welcome.
I think I'm gonna like try to crawl on the ground past the car.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your
Nice. I like this. Yeah. I like the idea of you just army crawling beyond.
Exactly. I got an extreme success.
how good of an extreme success? What was your roll?
I got a 10.
Okay. You're crawling and you hear the window of the police car roll down and ma'am, do you need help? Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. It's just my knees haven't been so good for the last few days.
Oh, can we give you a ride to where you're going?
No, I'd rather not get in a cop car if you
Oh, well, at least let me help you up. And he gets out, and he's a patrolman. And, you know, the light goes on in the car when he opens the door, and he helps you to your feet. And he says, are you sure you're okay? Do you need us to call an ambulance?
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I'll just go sit down for a little bit.
Oh, okay, if you're sure. But we're here if you need us.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Thank you. You're very
And he
kind.
gets back in the car and pulls the door shut, and the light goes out.
Okay.
Now, Scraps, you are coming up the road, and you see the cop car light up. You didn't see Rosie at all on the ground, but the cop gets out and is talking to the ground, and then Rosie, you know Rosie, she stands up out of the shadows, has a slight conversation with the police officer, and then walks away. And the cop gets back in the car.
I love this.
Scraps approaches and comes up beside Rosie and says, "Ma'am, could I lend you a hand?" And hold out my arm.
Oh hey buddy. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's a long flight back from New Zealand, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that was painful.
I'm assuming that you got a friendly call as well.
I did, and I'm gonna lean in close and I'm gonna say, I'm actually okay. I just the cops saw me.
If you weren't okay, you'd be swinging. I know that.
Yeah, you know me.
Are you gonna approach the apartment complex?
I'm headed, kind of walking her towards the apartment complex.
Okay, so as you are getting across the street and you start walking towards the apartments themselves, you do see a gentleman. He is in a long coat, hangs down below his knees. He's very much bustled up around so as to defeat the cold. He is smoking a cigarette, which is how you first see him, because you see the cherry light up on the end of his cigarette. And if you want to see him, you can look at image 1.1 as you approach.
Ooh, yeah.
And he sees you pretty much making a beeline for him, and he goes, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Well,
I do believe I'm expected.
Okay.
The home office asked me to come down here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just wait here for everybody else. There's 2 more coming if you're both involved.
Do you know who they are?
No.
No, fair enough.
I just know I'm waiting for 4 people, and then we can go into the apartment. And he points at the door of the apartment, and you can see on the door that the door has been forced open. It's broken. And there is a footprint, shoe print right next to the door handle. So somebody has kicked this door open. At that point, I would say that Tom Jones would probably come wandering down the street.
most certainly. And just more of a sort of a controlled stumble, if you will. It's a man who is hungover almost by genealogy as much as it is a state. And yeah, it just is sort of just kind of walks up and just kind of like blanketly waves at the police car, but like does it like just keeps walking, doesn't even pay it any attention, like doesn't even let them get out, just kind of approaches the group and just goes, hey, hey, I got a call and you guys are all here, and Rosie, have you been on the ground?
Yeah, it's a long story.
It always is with this group. So I hear that there's a thing.
Yeah, we're waiting for
You don't
one
need to
more.
talk about that right now.
No.
Wait till we're inside. Okay, just wait.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
You're more than. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So, who are we waiting on? Are we waiting on
At
anyone
that
else?
point, Kyle, feel free to enter the
Oh, great.
situation.
So I pull up and park my car perfectly, hop out. I pull on my FBI cold weather jacket and step out of the car with a box under my arm and a European carryall over my shoulder and hanging by my side. And I walk up to the police car and I knock on the window.
He rolls down the window. Yes, can I help you?
Good evening, officer. I'm Kyle Cooperdale. I am private detective. I've been summoned here. Are you all staking out the crime scene?
I don't know what you're talking about. We're taking our lunch break. And he
Oh,
just
fair
kind of
enough.
points over at the apartments.
Perfect. Here you go. I hand him the box, which has 6 new donuts in it. I say, enjoy that one on me.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Be safe. Have a good night. Stay warm.
You too.
He rolls up the window because in Philadelphia they have the old cars, so he has to actually roll the window up with a crank.
Yeah.
Nice.
I spin on my heel and walk towards the apartment.
All right, and you will see the gentleman standing there smoking a cigarette. He's actually gone to a new one. One of the things that was interesting is that when he crushes out the butt, he crushes it out and then puts the actual butt in his pocket.
I look around. I recognize Rosie. I think I recognize Tom. I've never seen Scraps, but sir, I talked to the guy with the trench coat. I go, I'm Detective Cooperdale. I've been summoned here.
Excellent. So we can begin. All right. So don't touch anything until I tell you can touch stuff. All right. This is still
Understood.
a crime scene. And he goes through the door. And you can now see also that the door is broken. That has been broken into, and there's a shoe mark on the door where somebody has kicked it open.
About what size shoe are we looking at here?
11s.
All right.
Look like soft sole. Kyle, from your knowledge, it's probably police. You know, it's kind of got the police officer soft sole shoe
Really?
marking. Yeah.
I'll take a quick picture of it with my phone.
Okay. That's not a problem. So before he goes in, he does crush out his cigarette and put the butt in his pocket. The door, once you get inside, it leads into a main living area because it is a small apartment. So it's the living area, the dining, and the kitchen are all one big room. And he motions for you to kind of shut the door as best you can.
I'll elbow it close.
Okay, once it's shut, he goes, all right. You don't have a lot of time. I'm just telling you now, you don't have a lot of time. My name is Detective Walthus. And I contacted the home office because there are 2 other murders that are similar to this that have happened in the last couple of days. Yeah. We don't have time to go over that. I can give you some information. He pulls out a little notebook and he goes, okay, the resident's name is Robin Oliver, single white female, age 29. She's the only resident listed on this apartment. Let's see. The police we were called here. The officers that are out on the street that you may have seen or crawled past, they were sent here because of screams that were reported when somebody called 911, a worried neighbor. And so that's why the door is kicked in. was actually done by a police officer while he was responding to a distress call. When there was no answer, they're allowed to do it. Unfortunately, you know how it works. So, what you want to do is have about an hour before we have to bring in the rest of the police force. Those 2 guys out there, they work with me. They told me that this was suspicious, and I contacted the home office. I did not expect them to send people over instantly. All right, and do you have any questions for me?
Do you have any suspects?
No.
Any witnesses?
No.
Are there
Any
any
other-
other murders that are connected to this one?
Yes, there are 2. We're not sure if it's actually the same person or a copycat. We don't know, but you'll see when you get in there. It's very strange. And he pulls out 2, little what they look like hairnets, but he puts them over his shoes, and he holds them up for you all to do the same thing. He said, "Please, don't touch anything if you don't have to. You're more than welcome to look around the apartment, but be very careful around the corpse."
Very, very good.
Okay.
All right. You said that there were 2 similar incidences. Well,
Well,
When do
you
they
don't have much time.
you can talk while we walk.
Well, we're going through that door, so very,
All right.
very short walk. And he walks in and he opens the door. And what you can see when you come into the room is it's a small bedroom. There's a bathroom off to the right, with the door open. And the bed covers are very disheveled and sort of pulled off the bed towards the bathroom, in that direction. And he walks in and around the bed and then steps back into the bathroom to give you all room to see what is going on in this crime scene. And when you come around the corner of the bed, what you see is the upper half of a young woman laying with her head and arms on the ground, but where the lower half of her, which should still be on the bed, is missing. It's gone. And there's no blood. There's no visible wounds other than we'll get there. So I need sanity rolls, please.
Yeah, I should say so. Okay.
Oh, I don't like this.
48.
How did you do, Tom?
No, that is a significant fail. That is an 83.
3.
I
Okay.
got an 88.
Okay. How'd you do, Kyle?
48.
Okay.
11.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah, it was very unexpected, but not too horrible.
I've seen
Just
somebody-
kind of ooh.
I've seen somebody like that cut in half by a train. It's not,
Yeah,
not
but
pretty.
this is different.
Usually
this-
there's blood though.
Yes. And you can see what the top half of her looks like with image 1.2. This is obviously what's left of Robin. So he stands back and just kind of crosses his arms and
I
lets
put
you
my.
do it.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a video of the whole room as I walk through it. Basically,
Okay.
just trying to scan everything.
Okay.
Looking at where the body's been cut in half,
Yeah.
is there any indication of the internal or can I see anything where the internal organs should be? Or
Okay.
is it
So
just like
when you get close to the body, I need you to make me a spot hidden. But what you can see is that it's like the body's been cauterized.
okay?
There's no blood. There's just like burn scar, but it's not like a fire. It's like the skin and flesh and muscles have all been melted together.
Okay.
I got a really good spot hidden. I got an extreme success spot hidden.
All right, we'll get back to you, Rosie.
I succeeded, but not extremely. I just
Okay.
barely made it.
All right. So what you can see is that on the bed, there is a discoloration where you can assume the lady's legs would have been. So under the cover, you could see it because the covers got moved, but you could see where it would have been, where her legs and lower half would have been. And then it kind of curves. It appears she was pulling herself out of the bed, maybe to get away from the attacker.
Huh.
But there's no flesh, no bone, no muscle, nothing there, but a slight discoloration in the sheet itself.
No ash.
Nope.
Nothing
And there's
that would
no,
indicate acid?
and it's not like any fire has been used. And
And
there's
no
no
acid,
smell
right?
of burning. No cigarette ash, no. Rosie,
Huh.
looking, with your eagle eyes that you have, looking at the body, you can't help but notice something odd. And it's probably because you weren't right up in there with a camera with a light on it. But you saw what appeared to be almost sparkles on the carpet. But that it actually moves away from the bed. Looks like it's away from it's on the bed too, but once you see it, you can kind of angle your flashlight and follow it.
Okay,
And,
yeah, I'll definitely do that.
So and it almost looks like it's very thin, maybe a residue, but like very, very thin, like think of like a slime trail, a snail trail, but like thinner and more clear. And the only reason you noticed it was that every so often there appears to be what is a sparkle, the way it reflects the light. And you wouldn't have noticed it without the camera that Kyle was using, without his light on his camera.
Did
and
anybody
so,
else notice this residue all on the floor?
Do we when she points it out?
you can. It takes you a minute, but yes, you can. And the detective goes and will move out of the way as you are moving around. He's going to go back into the living room area to let you do your thing.
I look for an area of the carpet that's got a lot of this stuff on it, and I will lean down and pull out my little medical snippers and snip a piece of the carpet off and put it into an evidence bag.
Okay. You could do that, and it almost, when you snip it and the piece of carpet comes off, it just kind of like flakes into dust and is gone. It is that fine of a layer that it really is just so fragile that it's just gone. Now, Rosie, while you're following this trail, you can see that it leads into the bathroom. It actually splits, but it leads into the bathroom and goes from the kitchen, from the sink in the bathroom. It goes up to the sink.
I'm gonna turn on the water.
Okay. And kind of looking around, you can see that there's another trail, for the lack of a better term, coming in here that leads to the toilet.
Weird.
Could be something in the sewers, like the rats are bringing in. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I saw anybody who was only half a person like this, it can only be one thing: drain-based stripper sharks.
I
That's what it has
was
to be.
thinking of the sharks, ghost shark.
Yeah, I was thinking Jaws was the last time I saw someone, that was, cleanly in half like this. And if there's a weird trail that leads toward drains, but it's kind of glittery, it seems to be the only clue we have.
So, Scraps, is there anything you want to do?
Actually, yeah. He is actually you said there was a line going across the bed.
So it comes from the bed. You can see where it obviously there's a path on the bed,
right,
and that goes into the sink. But there's another path that appears to go to the toilet and somewhere else in the apartment. And you can certainly begin following that.
All right.
It's hard because you literally have to hold your flashlight at just the right angle to see it. It's almost easier if somebody else is shining the flashlight from a distance and you can walk it. So maybe you and Rosie could work together on that.
That makes more sense.
Or you and Tom Jones,
Hey,
I was gonna say Rosie at least knows where it is. I'd just be doing guesswork at this point.
Yeah.
So, you
So
know.
Tom's shining his flashlight all over the place for you guys to see. And you can follow it out into the living area, and it goes up a wall. And when it gets up the wall, you see a wooden rack of spoon, like silver spoon collection. And it's all 50 states of the United States. So she obviously was collecting these silver spoons, but there's one missing.
Which
Are we-
one?
Yeah.
Georgia.
Georgia. Now, either they've never been to Georgia, or someone took it, or
But the
someone
slime trail
named
stops on top of the rack
Georgia. Oh.
and doesn't go any further.
I'm gonna move off to the side from the rack and look at it from that angle and from along the wall and just kind of slowly shine the light around.
So Scraps, with the lifestyle you live, this place is immaculately clean.
Yeah.
This person, this
places
lady, I mean, just obviously is a cleaning nut. And so this place is impeccably clean. What catches your attention is that in the living room, it's not. In the living room, there's stacks of books and magazines and all kinds of stuff all over the couch and the table that's in there.
Do they seem to have a roommate?
No, it's just a one bedroom.
I'm gonna walk around and look at the stacks of books and stuff, poking and prodding, because I've got my pointer out so I can flip things open and such as I
Okay.
go.
So the detective has moved over and is looking at what you guys are looking at the rack. He's looking at the rack. He's like trying to figure out exactly what you're thinking, and he's not interrupting you. He's you guys are the experts. He's just here to allow you to check out the steam before CSI comes in and removes things. The stacks of papers all have things to do with weddings. There's notebooks of locations. It would appear that this lady is a wedding planner. That maybe that's her occupation. And because you find an address book, and it is just full of weddings that are up and coming and deadlines that she has to meet to have things done. And you also can kind of see underneath the mess a MacBook.
Ooh, I was gonna actually ask if there was like a calendar or anything.
It's kind of hidden under all the mess, so it's
All
not
right.
actually really obvious.
I was about to ask, has anyone seen her phone?
It was actually on the nightstand on charger.
I hold up a pair of gloves for Scraps.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
I'll also attempt to grab the laptop underneath from a stack of things. I have a pair of what look like driving gloves that I start to put on. It is entirely possible that the driving gloves look far dirtier than my hands, and I'm not a
They
clean
do.
person.
They look terrible. Because the
Like,
last
oh,
time
yeah,
you
like-
used them, you dropped them in a puddle,
Oh yeah.
and they're
Oh,
still
what?
wet
It's
inside.
still-
That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
you took
man.
them off. They're not keeping your hands warm. They're freezing your hands.
It's just disgusting. I'm like, just wring them out before I put them on.
So Kyle, you see him start to wring out a glove, and you see water droplets start to fall on the table. What do you do?
You need to leave my crime scene, Tom. I've got this. I've already got gloves on. I pick up the laptop.
I was gonna say, at this, I feel like Tom would just go, not the first time I've heard that. All right. I'm gonna go look at the bedroom some more, I guess.
Do you really trust him out of sight?
I don't have any choice.
Well, I'm in there at the moment, picking up a phone.
Perfect.
Hey, Rosie, come in here if you can.
All right, I'm
She-
coming.
She's actually there. She was looking at the cabinet.
Have
So
you
the
got gloves on?
detective has not seen the MacBook yet.
Okay.
Are you
have
going
got-
to try and hide it, or are you going to
No.
make it obvious?
No, I show it to him as Rosie. Have you got gloves on?
Yes,
Here you go.
I will look into the laptop.
Okay. You can pretty easily break the code. It's not a very hard one. It's the way she kind of keeps track of everything that's not in her paper. Well, it's duplicated as it is in her paper book, but the paper book is obviously what she can carry with her easily to like locations and sites, and it has all kinds of information. The MacBook itself is only about 9 months old, and you can find references to all kinds of things in there, including her business license to actually own a business and be able to provide this wedding planner business. And that was just about the same time as she got the laptop.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And she's also got, tracking her income and everything else. And it would seem that a majority of the nice stuff that she has in the apartment, she has bought in the last 9 months.
Interesting. Huh. Does it seem like she's lived here for like any longer than that, or is it?
Oh
pretty
yes,
much like
yeah. She's
Okay.
definitely lived here for a while.
But it seems like
tell.
all of her, like that she had a significant windfall or something change in her life 9 months ago.
9 months or before, yeah.
Okay.
But definitely within, in 9 months ago, she definitely hit a windfall. She started a business, and since then she's purchased, a new TV and all this other stuff. I mean, some of these wedding planning books and stuff, they're not cheap. The sample books and things, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
And being a wedding planner is not cheap either, because you usually have to front a lot of this stuff, and then get the final payments.
So Sholem, there's on the door, and I go, oh, excuse me, that's me. And I walk over to the door, come back. I go, Uber Eats, they deliver coffee too.
Did you have some delivered to the police officers
Yes.
as well? Okay.
Sure.
And the detective looks at his watch and goes, "You're almost out of
Well,
time."
Detective, do you think there's anything we're missing here that you've seen?
I haven't really looked around more than just coming in to make sure it was something the home office might want to see.
Very well. Rosie, do you see any file activity from the last day or two that might, any saved files or change that might indicate what's going on here?
Do I?
No, she actually has a wedding this weekend. So all of the work was really about the wedding, doing the final checks and stuff.
It's
She's got
just
some
her,
emails.
Her normal job, just wedding planning stuff.
Okay. Let's make note of where that wedding is. And also let's make note of the last wedding she did.
It was last weekend. She's very busy.
Yeah.
She has a wedding almost every weekend now.
If this ties into her career at all, then it's no doubt the last wedding she did or the one she's getting ready to do. Probably a disgruntled bride. Tom, you know about
Bridezilla. Okay.
All right.
So
Quick.
I do need the results of the first poll, please. So if you could display that for me, that'd be great. So as you are leaving, the detective's like, okay, wait a second, before you go. I need you to go to the Conferences on the Go at 470 Lexington and ask for the Red River Corporation. Please be there by 9. Coffee and Danishes will, of course, be provided, but there's more information about the other incidents that can be given at that point.
Oh, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, so I'd be there by 9.
Sir, I look at Scraps and say, sir, I have to ask you a question. Did you just wander in here with us, or do you have a phone?
Oh, he's one of us. Trust me.
Is it? Okay, great.
Rosie and I have
extend my
traveled
hand.
together a little bit.
I extend my hand. I'm Kyle Coopdale, private detective.
Just call me Scraps.
I'm sorry, I'm making control. I missed what you said. Okay, great. So as you leave the
Oh, wait,
complex.
Kyle.
Yes.
As we're shaking hands, you find a phone in your hand.
Ah, thank you. I palm it and put it in my pocket.
Okay. I believe that is her phone that you swiped from the desk or from the,
Yeah.
the nightstand.
Yeah, I didn't have time to go through her and see what popped up messages there were, so I just handed it off to a more expert than I am.
Okay. So as you are leaving the complex, you can't help but notice movement off to your left as you see shades. You know, like somebody had been peeking through the shades and then let go when you turn to look to the left as you're walking out, and then the shade just suddenly.
I don't like that.
And it was up on the second floor. Second floor.
It's second floor above her apartment.
Across
the street.
the way from you.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
Should we go ring the doorbell?
At least. Let's go.
Let's do it.
And as you start to walk up the stairs, Detective Walters goes, "Where are you going? The police are going to be here any minute."
Someone upstairs was watching us out the window. We're going to go find out why.
You mean that apartment right there?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go there.
Why is that?
Well, we call her Crazy Bethel because, well, we don't get 5 or 6 calls from her a week about things people in the apartment complex are doing or not doing, such as walking their dogs. It's not uncommon.
So she might very well have seen whoever came into this place and did
It's
this.
possible, but you'll never get any real. She's gonna complain for hours before you can get anything out of her. She's
I look
worthless
at,
and
I look at
untrustable.
Scraps. I look at Scraps and Tom Jones and say, I think we've got just the duo for this job, officer.
If
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to, go ahead, but you want to keep a low profile away from the rest of the PD. It's up to you.
I had
Well,
a song called
is
Crazy Bethel.
is there a back way out of that building?
It's kind of an open hallway, so you can go either direction.
Perfect.
So you're gonna go
wait.
talk to Bethel?
Yeah, wait, Tom. I filter through my European carry-all, and I pull out a plastic Halloween badge that looks like an officer's badge, and I hand it to Tom.
Oh, I haven't been allowed one of these since '98. Absolutely. Yes, the toy equivalent. I do.
And
need
remember,
that as well.
if you're gonna lie, I don't recommend it. But if you lie big.
Oh, I do nothing small.
That's true.
Yeah.
Especially drive
Yeah.
and crash.
Huh. See, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make a spectacle of it, even
That's
if it's,
right.
a car wreck.
Going down in a blaze of glory, that's all.
I'm just saying. I got.
Okay,
Rosie,
so-
you want to go with them, or you want to stay down here with me?
I'm gonna stay out of their way.
Okay, let's just get over in the shadows, out of the way from the officers, who no doubt will be here soon.
Yeah, we can observe just in case anything starts to go wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So as you walk away, you can see that the patrol car pulls out, goes up the block, turns around, puts on its lights, and comes down the road very quickly, like they're responding to a call.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're out
Okay.
of donuts. That's what I tell Rosie. It's an emergency. They're out of donuts.
That's
I
right.
got the feeling that they were just pretending to be here the first time. So
Well, they're the
Tom
ones.
just.
You can assume that they're the ones who found the body, because that's actually what Walters told you.
Yeah.
Is that the officers that were outside notified him of the situation. That's when he contacted the home office.
and they were giving him extra time, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So now they're doing it for real and going to report it as, a homicide or as a death. We'll see. So, on to Scraps and Tom Jones.
I was gonna say,
you go
okay.
up-
I got 2 skills. I got fast talk and charm person. And just charm. And I'm just sort of like, you know what? Outside of that, I'm pretty much useless. But this is my wheelhouse. Let's
Alright,
talk to a
so-
crazy old lady.
You can't help but know it's her door because it is covered in all kinds of extraneous crap. The door frame is all flowers, like fake flowers, like stuck to the door frame, with caulk.
Yeah.
So, and tape and whatever she had at the time. And when you come to the door, she goes, "Are you police?"
And I just go, "Well, ma'am, that depends."
You haven't
Are
even
looking
knocked
to
on
talk
the
to-
door.
Huh?
She's talking through the door. She
Oh,
hasn't even
perfect.
opened it.
Yeah, I'll just, without wavering, I will respond through the door, be like, "Well, that depends, ma'am. Are you looking to talk to the police?"
Well, they never want to talk to me.
"Well, ma'am, I'm happy to tell you, this one does." And I'm just holding up the possibly even upside down, just the fake badge.
Okay.
Just-
She actually opens the door and goes, "Wow, you don't look like police." And you can see literally in her apartment behind her, she's about 4'9". I mean, she's tiny. She looks angry and probably 195 years old. You can't, she's just that angry little person that hates the world around her. But you can see that nothing in this house has changed from the 50s. But she may have been here in the 50s. It literally looks like you got the plastic covered couch and everything. And she goes, "Well, if you're the cops, you come in."
"Ma'am, for someone as young as you,
Don't touch the dog.
Are your parents home? I don't think someone as young as you should be left alone." But seriously, yes, letting us into your apartment would be great. Thank you very much for your time.
Don't make me grab you by the ear and yank you to the ground, boy.
Threaten
I
me with a
feel
good
like
time,
I've
sir.
gone to my grandma's house.
I mean, she just looks nasty. She's got gnarled fingers, obviously she does knitting, and just her fingers are all gnarled up with arthritis. And she closes the door behind you, locks like 5 locks. It is Philadelphia. And, you have an option. You could sit on the plastic covered couch or one of the 2 plastic covered armchairs.
I think I would
Or
probably
you can
go
stand.
couch.
Your choice.
Scraps is going to stand.
Okay.
I will comfortably flop down on the plastic covered couch.
Okay, and it goes,
Just immediately make myself
As
at home.
the air-
Oh yeah,
as the air comes out.
horrible.
Because obviously nobody sat on that in a while.
It's just, yeah.
She goes in
somewhere
and-
between. Sorry.
Go ahead,
please
go
go.
ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's. I like the fact that it's like I have to settle into the couch not only because it's not usually sat on, but also because there's like I make almost like a butt indent in the fine layer of dust on just the plastic.
Well, there
It's
is
just-
now.
yeah. Perfect. Great.
Actually, the house is pretty clean. The apartment's clean. But I mean, it takes a good 30 seconds for the air to sneak out of whatever little hole it's in. And in that time, she walks over. She's got a little cane, but she doesn't really look like she's using the cane to walk. It's more like a threatening tool, you would guess. And she walks over to one of the armchairs, steps up on a booster step to get into the armchair. Sits down so her feet are hanging off the armchair with her little stockings on. And I mean, she's head to toe, looks like she fell out of the 50s.
As
Now,
they're
ma'am-
talking, Scraps
So are
goes,
you hear about the Henderson's dog?
Well, ma'am, while I'm not terribly familiar with the dog situation, and it has come to my attention that you are let's say, a vigilant member of the community.
Somebody has to be. These people are thieves and stealing and
As that is my entire profession, I am well aware. I just want to commend you on the spectacular job you're doing of keeping your fellow citizens safe.
And you can see that her eye starts twitching.
So
You're
anyway,
not here about the Henderson's dog. What do you hear about?
well, there seems to have been a bit of an incident across the street, and I was hoping to maybe talk to anyone who would have the perspicacity enough to keep a goings-on of the general neighborhood, if you will. Ma'am.
There's a lot of things that happen across the street. Are you talking across the street or across the way? I saw you go into room 104. She's a
That
troublemaker.
Really? Well, it is trouble that I'm interested in. What kind of trouble do you think could be made across the way? Do you have
She
any...
produces more garbage than you're allowed.
Really?
You're only allowed to put 2 bags in the dumpster every week. She puts
Hmm.
at least 3 to 4.
3 to 4, you say? Bags of garbage per week, you say?
And she seems to be getting redder and more angry the more she talks about it.
Yes. Well, aside from the garbage, have you noticed any particular comings and goings? Does she have many visitors? Has she?
She's always going and coming. She's in and out all the time, at all hours of the day and night. It's unnerving, and she's always carrying bags and boxes.
Bags and boxes.
What are in the bags and boxes? I bet she's a dealer.
I see.
Scraps,
Yeah.
this is very uncomfortable because even though she's looking directly at him, you realize that her left eye is looking at you.
I have made my way over to the window.
Somehow, she is able to focus on 2 separate things at the same time. At least that's
Well,
what you feel.
Well, I had this one teacher, history teacher in high school. She was cross-eyed. And
Oh, no,
so
no.
when she
This
was
eye
yelling
is
at you.
following you.
You didn't
This-
know who
we're-
she was yelling at. Was it me or the guy in the next
Well,
seat beside of me?
Wherever you go, this eye is following you.
Yeah, I've been there.
It's like you move, the eye follows you, and the right eye is staring Tom Jones's soul down.
Well, I'm kind of angling my look to see what she could actually see of the apartment across the way.
So all she can see is the door, and then the grass in front of the apartment, and the walkway to the street. That's really all she can see of that apartment.
All right.
Interesting. So yeah, I guess so. She comes and goes at all hours, and she has bags and boxes with her.
Especially
there
on the
been any-
weekends.
Really, weekends you find is.
And I swear I can smell booze from here when I open them.
Oh well, yeah, that is something I will take to my colleagues.
She's a
because,
lush.
that is, well, I mean, den of depravity and all that, like you do. Has there been any upturn in visitors or activity recently, say within the last, I don't know, 12 to 24 hours?
She's had a lot of deliveries.
A lot of
Not in the last
deliveries.
24 hours. In the last 24 hours, she's doing her normal thing. She goes and she comes. She's always carrying bags and boxes. In and out, in and out.
Do you have any rapport with this neighbor? Have you spoken at all? Do you?
Are you crazy? I'm not going to leave this apartment. It's
That-
unsafe out there.
That was going to be my suggestion, madam, and
And I don't know why everything she has seems to have white on it.
Yes. Well, obviously,
You're white. I don't get it. Drives me
God.
nuts.
clearly a diversionary tactic for nefarious doings of
It
that.
might be cocaine.
Yes.
I've heard about those. Perry Mason talked about it.
Good. I was curious as to how you would have come across that particular knowledge, given your
Yeah, her
Decor.
TV still has the antennas on it. There's no cable box. There's no antenna box, so she's not getting anything anymore.
I was gonna say, let me know when you refill your prescription of laudanum, madam. But outside of that, fantastic. Good.
Yeah, she's just a nut. She's a nutter. You'll be lucky if you can make it out of there in 2 or 3 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
But she's gonna give you nothing of any value,
Perfect.
other than what you've heard.
Boxes, bags, and booze coming and going. I need to report
And
this
white,
back to my
white,
colleague.
lots of white.
Lots of white. White boxes, bags coming and going all hours, especially on the weekends. You have been a great help. I need to report this back to my colleagues, lest they get the wrong idea or don't search for the white things as you have described. I will make sure.
What's your name? And she pulls out a little notepad.
My name is Tomelian Josephine.
Where the hell are you from?
New
Nevada?
Yes. No,
I thought I
no,
picked that-
No, that's
that-
where I'm actually from.
Den of sin.
New South Coloradinia. Anyway, it's time for me to go.
All right,
Anyway,
Scraps, did you even try to talk to her, or did you just
No,
try
I'm
and
letting,
avoid her?
I'm letting Tom Jones do his thing. I'm kind of just scoping out the room.
So you realize that when you go to the door, that one of the locks is a key lock. So you're not going to be able to get out until she lets you out.
Oh, I can fix that.
I love this.
And
Just
so
love it.
she's like, well, I'm not done. I have more complaints. Are you just going to try and get out, or are you going to listen to her complaints for a couple hours?
Oh, I think that there's going to be a lot of smiling and nodding and constantly jiggling of the handle.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I
that's-
will actually, while he is talking with her, I will reach over and try to unlock it.
Okay, go ahead and make that locksmith roll. Or locksmith.
Oh, nope, that is a fail, 97.
That is a very tricky lock.
Yep. It's an old lock.
It is. It's one of the ones that has the push button, and then you put the key in. So you have to engage the lock to push the key. Yeah. So this lock
Dastardly.
looks like it came off a
Yes.
bolt. Okay. So you're gonna be stuck there for about 3 hours.
All right.
And in that time, the reason I added psychological torture to the warnings at the beginning of the show is because I was afraid you were going to run into her. You are both going to suffer a sanity loss
That's
because
fair.
she just does not stop, and she is so angry, and it's so unnerving.
We were
that-
warned.
Yeah, you were. It's not much, it's just a little bit, but you're probably going to hear her voice in your nightmares.
It's worth paying just to get out of here.
Yep.
Rosie and Kyle, what did you want to do while you're waiting? It just, you thought it was going to be short, but it just keeps going and going, and every once in a while you see Scraps looking out the window.
Claw.
Oh, Rosie.
But you know he's still
I
alive
think-
because he keeps looking out the window.
Rosie, I do believe they're getting a lot of information. They seem to be doing a very thorough job up there.
Oh, I sure hope so. I'm gonna keep watching these cops across the street, see if they pull anything out that.
Oh,
maybe
so
we get
the
behind.
cops actually pulled up and ran to the apartment, pretended like they kicked the door open. Because they obviously have their body cameras on, and then go in, and then they're calling people, and within about a half an hour, CSI shows up, and they go in and they do their thing, and it's normal procedure. From what you can, what Kyle knows, this is exactly how they do it.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to get in my car and just sit in the front seat quietly, and I pull out my night vision monocular, and I'm actually looking everywhere except the house where the cops are, trying to find to see if anybody else is surveying the property.
It just looks like nosy people because they see, flashing lights. It just seems like normal people. They come out, they look, they go back in.
So nobody in the crowd looks like they are not really interested in what's going on. Like there's a difference between
Correct.
someone watching a crime who's committed it versus someone who is interested in it.
Correct.
Okay.
There's nobody that you could pick out of the
Okay.
bunch.
Well,
So
in that
I'm gonna
case-
go ahead and move us to tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Are you going? I assume you all are going to go to conferences on the go.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They said coffee. I'll be there.
Yeah, coffee and danishes will be served. So when you get to the building, are you all going to go at the same time? I would hope so, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
we'll
would
go
make
as a
no
group.
sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you get to the building, it's actually a 5-story office building. And when you look on the placard inside, you can see that 201 is where the conferences on the go is. So you get in the elevator, you press the button, you go up to 2, the elevator door opens, and about 15 feet in front of the elevator is a lady sitting at a desk. She has a laptop that she closes when you come in, and a phone, and a potted plant with long leaves. Can I help you?
Hi, we're looking for the Red River Corporation.
Ah, yes. And now that you're kind of looking around, other than her staring at you, You notice that you're in a lobby that actually does have some seats along the sides, but there are 2 doors, one to the right, one to the left, and they look like office doors with the frosted glass. She goes, yes, you are going to be in conference room 201. Your colleague is already there. And she reaches under her desk and presses a button, and you hear the bzzz of the door on the right.
Thank you so much.
Going
After
through
you,
the
Rosie.
door. What's that?
After you, Rosie.
Okay. Going through the door, you can see that the walls are frosted glass, and there are conference rooms going down both sides of the hallway. And you can see where it actually turns, obviously, at the end when it reaches the end of the building. Your conference room is the first one on the left. It says 201 on the door. There's no Red River Company, anything like that. It just says 201.
I'm gonna head in.
Okay. When you go into the conference room, it's actually a rather nice large room. You can see that the wall that you had walked down is frosted glass on this side as well. It does seem that there's lighting coming from inside the frosted glass to kind of add a soft light to the room. There's a large meeting table, and across the room are windows showing the Philadelphia skyline. And standing over by the coffee pot is the detective.
Perfect.
So, but Rosie, something's not right in this room. Do you stop and look around, or do you just go in like nothing's wrong?
I'm a very observant person. I would be looking out for everything as I go in.
Okay, so Scraps, you and Kyle as well. Something's not right in this room, and as you all kind of stop and look, the windows are on an inside wall of the building. Those can't be
odd.
windows.
They don't go to the outside.
There can't be windows there of the Philadelphia skyline, because the way you came in, that would be looking at the interior of the building. The conference rooms on the other side would have windows possible on the outside.
I'm gonna go tap on it.
What I'm going to do is actually just move, as soon as we enter the room, move over to the right and
Okay.
not go very far into the room,
Okay.
and just kind of watch the skyline to see if it feels like it's a projection.
So, what you can see as you get closer, you realize they're televisions.
All right.
They're big televisions that are projecting an outside view of Philadelphia. So you are in an inside room with what appears to be an outside view. And the detective goes, "Oh, excellent, you're all here. Okay, so and he goes over to the end of the head of the table and pulls out the chair and sits down. Goes, all right, and he fishes around in his coat pocket, pulls out a USB, shoves it in the side of somewhere in the side of the table, and you see that a panel in the table opens up and there's a keyboard in there. So he starts typing, and then there's a remote control that's just sitting on there. You can pick it up and move it around. And he hits a button, and all the screens that were showing the Philadelphia skyline now start filling with documentation. So that's what you can see. All right, so I'm gonna go through the police records on the first 2 murders that I seem to think are related, and so please don't take any pictures of this. If this got out, my ass is on the line. So just kind of think about it, but don't hang me out to dry. And he says, all right, so the first incident, and you can see image 2.1 or document 1 is what's displayed. There is an African-American gentleman, and it goes through like this. Incident date, Sunday, March 15th, 2020. Victim, Joe Dean, African-American male, age 27. And it lists his current address. Occupation, game designer with Imaginext Computing. Found in the bathroom on the second floor appeared to have been dissolved using some type of acidic solution. Blood and chemical tests are pending. The other information that's in the files, and it's a lot of police files, so there's a lot of forms, and you kind of piece this information together, and he kind of shows you where it is. The body was found because the smoke detection for his alarm system identified the issue and contacted the fire department. Fire department responded. They had to break down the door to gain access. The smoke was caused by a candle in the back of the toilet smoking as the flame itself reached the piece of cardboard at the bottom and set it on fire. There are also many pictures of the scene, pictures of the toilet with the fire-causing candle, and images of the body. What's left of the body is only the groin and legs, and they're found laying next to the toilet, like maybe they just fell over. There is no evidence of the rest of the body, and in the notes, there's no evidence that it was removed from the scene. And there was no evidence of a break-in. And so that's what you can see on the first murder. Second murder, which is document 2 or image 2.2, this is Timothy Turner. This one happened on Wednesday, 3/18. Victim, Timothy Turner, Caucasian male, age 28. His address is listed there as well. Graphic designer with Baldwin Consulting. Found in the kitchen. Appeared to have been dissolved using some type of acidic solution. Blood and chemical tests pending. Other information that was pertinent that he can point out to you. Body was found because the smoke alarm in his apartment went off and a neighbor called 911. When the fire department responded, they had to break down the door to gain access. Smoke was caused by an egg that had burned in a pan on the stove, and the Teflon was melting and producing more smoke that set off the alarm due to excessive heat, is the guess on that. There are images of the body and the stovetop with the pan where you can see that it's the charred frying pan with the Teflon curling up as it melted off the pan, as it separated from the pan. All that remains of the body is both arms, the left side of the torso, the head, and the left leg. What's missing is the right side of the torso, underneath the armpit, and the right leg. All like that whole piece of the body is missing. And there also was no evidence that the other part of the body was removed from the scene, and there was no evidence of a break-in. And he shows you all of that, and he says, "Do you have any questions for me?"
Was there any evidence that the bodies were burned? I know that there was fire at both scenes, but were the bodies themselves burned?
No.
Okay. Similar to the scene last night?
Yes, very similar. And you can see in the images, you can see in the images that the wound is the same. It's like the flesh and bones and organs and muscles have been basically melted together to make a solid surface.
Well, now, I do recall they said they heard screaming with the first incident, and that's what alerted police. Do these other two look like they had struggled in any way?
No. There's no. So in her case, it looked like she had pulled herself off the bed. These two look like they dropped dead.
What is the expression on Timothy Turner's face like? Okay.
Yeah. Well, Timmy is an average kid that no one understands. How much I do know. But, sorry.
Stop.
Yeah. Now, the question that I have is: was there any sign of fire or fire-related incident at the place we were last night in room 104?
No. No, the fires seem to be the reason the bodies were found.
Okay.
So without the fire department being alerted, who knows how long it would have been before the bodies were found.
Got it.
There were screams for the third person, for the person you saw last night. There were screams.
That was the question. That was the next question. So perfect there. Okay, so we got screams from the first and third, fire from 1 and 2, but not necessarily 3. And we've got a bottom bit, a top bit, and a right bit that's missing.
Well, here's the question. Where are these geographically located? compared to
They
each
are
other?
also here in Philadelphia.
Well, I figured that much, but I'm just saying in proximity.
So the first one, with Joe Dean is actually in the suburbs. And then Timothy Turner, it's an apartment that is actually in a refurbished factory. So like a condo that you would find in a refurbished factory. So it's more on the west side near the train tracks. It's kind of like one of the things that they are trying to do to bring young people into the city.
Interesting.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we took a look at the other body, it looked like where she had been kind of cut in half, if you will, was cauterized. Is it the same with these bodies?
Yes. It's the same blending of flesh and bone that's been melted together.
And you said there was chemical analysis being done on whatever the
There
solvent
are
might have
Yeah,
been.
there are blood tests being done. There's tests on the skin. I mean, there's no mention of the slime trails.
Interesting.
So that's something that's not in these. But everything else matches up to the MO of what you saw last night.
Well,
The shape
What
of
about-
the damage to the body.
well, what about has you backtracked their previous 3 days of movement? Like maybe they all visited the same location or something like that.
That is being investigated. This has all happened in a very short period of time. It's only been 6 days since the first murder, and then the second one was only 3 days ago. So yes, it is happening every 3 days.
Do you think we could get into the other crime scenes?
Funny you should ask. He pulls out a pair of keys and puts them on the desk. I was going to suggest that you go check those crime scenes out. They're still, marked off with tape. Both of the gentlemen were single, so they lived alone. The doors have been locked with a padlock, so since they're broken, so as to not allow people to just wander in.
Detective, can you do us a favor while we're doing that? Can you check the two companies of these two, Baldwin Consulting and Imagine X Gaming, and see if they have any relation to each other, if there's anything going on at a corporate level?
Yeah, I
And
can
then
do that.
also check these two gentlemen's names against the planner for last night's victim to see if perhaps they were associated with her in a business capacity in some way. I'm just
Okay.
really, I don't think any of that'll pan out, but I just want to get rid of the loose ends so that we can focus on whatever's actually in front of us.
Okay, no problem. I will try to do that.
Thank you, Detective.
Yeah,
Anything else I can?
I want to see if those weird slime trails are in these apartments too.
Can we,
No.
by chance, have the thumb drive with all these images on it in case we have to reconsult them later? Or a copy of?
Well, that's the problem. These are official police records. If they got out, my ass is toast. I can't leave them with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave now so I can go start doing what you've asked.
Okay.
Thumb drive is here. It's in the machine right
Understood.
now, so you can look at it as much as you want. When you leave, you need to give it to the receptionist, and she'll take
Okay.
care of it from there. Also, if there's any, equipment they said that you need, you should contact the receptionist. You just on the phone, you just press reception. That's what
That
they
sounds
told me
good.
to tell you.
Can I ask, is she a police asset detective?
No,
Or is she
I've
an
never
asset
seen her
in the home
before in my
office?
life.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Well, good luck.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah. I don't want to see you all again. I want this over. So, whatever you can figure out would be wonderful.
Yeah, make sure you get our research done though.
I'm gonna go work on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck. If you do need to talk to me, and he puts his card at the end of the table near the door, he just puts his card down, turns, and leaves.
sense. I get.
He
Yeah,
does
I
not
mean,
want to be near you.
Very to the point. Very to the point.
I get
like
that a
him.
lot. So
I
yeah,
like him.
yeah, you would. Yeah, I was gonna say you would. Yeah.
In another life, you could have been brothers. Could have been the
Yeah.
same person. All right. So
I'm gonna leave the room for a sec. As I go, I pick up the card and slide it into my pocket, and I'm gonna walk out and talk to the secretary or the receptionist.
when you come out, she looks and goes, "Done already."
Oh no, of course not. We need a extra thumb. We need an extra. What?
That
Huh?
all requests for equipment must go through the phone.
Do you
phone
have the
is
phone?
in-
You mean the phone I'm carrying?
No, phone in the room.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. I turn back, go
And
back
she
around.
buzzes the door so you can get back in.
Perfect. Pragmatic, if
What do
nothing
you
else.
guys think about what equipment you might need? I pick up the phone and call.
And it's her.
Oh, great.
Oh my
Perfect.
god.
We
Reception.
we need an extra thumb drive and a laptop for temporary use. And I will need a nice 9mm pistol of some sort.
Make that 2.
Oh, I'm going to hand it to you here in a second, Rosie.
Oh.
That's all I can think of right now. Here you go,
Are you
Rosie.
planning
I
on
hand it over
copying
to-
that? As you get pulled away from your phone, you hear her start talking. You still hand it over?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So Rosie, you hear copy the thumb drive.
What?
Where did Kyle go?
He gave the phone to me.
He's an idiot.
Okay, I'll give it back to him. Here you go, Kyle.
Hi there.
Are you planning on copying the thumb drive?
Why would I do that? What would be the implication if I did?
You're not allowed to.
I-
And she's very serious. She sounds like someone. She sounds like the nun that's in charge of discipline.
I understand what you're
Good.
saying. You need to understand I have security clearance through the FBI to do this kind of thing.
You're not working for the FBI.
Not right now, but if I were, I could do it.
I will check on that.
Thank you. I hand it back to Rosie.
Okay,
And
I'm back.
there's just silence on the phone, so however you interpret that.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. I also need a 9mm pistol. I need some evidence collection baggies. And I need some latex gloves for the crime scene.
Can I get
Oh,
quantities?
I
please?
tap Rosie. I go, go ahead and order a box of 100.
We'll do a box of 100 pairs of gloves. So 200 gloves total. And then we'll do 20 baggies.
Right?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Scraps leans over and says, since this stuff is kind of dust, you might want something that kind of picks up little particles.
You want a
Oh,
puff
yeah.
sucker.
Can I have like
A puff
evidence-
sucker. I know
yeah,
what you
yeah,
want.
That,
Okay.
yeah.
You want vials for that as well with tops?
Yeah, 20 vials, please.
What are you doing? Open up a warehouse? I mean, Jesus.
I don't know. You asked for quantities. I'm just giving you random numbers.
Amateurs. I'm working
Alright.
with amateurs.
All right.
Ooh, can I get
And that's what you
about-
hear, Tom, when you get the phone, you hear amateurs. I'm working with amateurs.
I just go. Oh, trust me, lady. I get that all the time. It's a perk of the job, I guess. So I'm gonna need about 10 of those little tape strips that people use for fingerprints. A crowbar or a claw hammer. Honestly, a claw hammer would probably be better. And a flashlight, a pair of tweezers, and a compilation of Tom Jones's greatest hits. Not the famous Tom Jones, the other Tom Jones. It's a little harder to find, but trust me, it'll be worth it. So, yeah.
You can just hear the oppressive silence on the phone.
Perfect. Yes.
You know
that's-
she's still there, but she hasn't said anything.
like most of my audiences, it's a sound I'm accustomed to. And anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Fun? 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 Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put you on the scraps.
I'm good.
You hang up.
And he hangs up.
Okay, good. All right.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
feel free. Is there anything else you want to look at in here that you might need?
I just want a closer look over these pictures here of these bodies and how they're
It's-
laid out, because
It's
they're not
disturbing,
going to
but you kind of knew what was coming.
right. But it's more just how they're laid out, because the bodies ain't going to be there anymore.
Right.
So I really just kind of want to get an idea of where they were situated, how they were laying out. They may have that old chalk tape or whatever the hell it is you see on the TV shows, but just in case, I just want to kind of commit this to memory if we can't take a copy with us.
Okay.
I'd like to look at the picture of the person who is cut from this area down the middle.
So it's like from here and then down.
Yeah. So what I want to look at is, does it look like the cut is some sort of arc, like maybe a spherical emission of some sort of energy weapon or something hit them?
It's not a perfect sphere. It's more like an angle.
Okay. So
and
maybe
then just went straight down.
Maybe more like a laser that just cut through at a straight line.
That's possible.
Okay.
That's
I
possible.
think I do want to point out as well too that like one person like had a trail. So the most recent person had a trail leading to and from the bathroom. The first person was found in the bathroom, and the second person, so Turner, was found in his kitchen. So all very near drain systems. I don't know if that necessarily has anything to do with anything, but there are water supplies nearby.
So after about 15 minutes, the conference door opens and the receptionist comes in she pulls a cart through the door that has all your various things that you requested, and she proceeds to put them on the table for the various people who requested them in 4 little piles, including your box of 20 test tubes, and pulls up a clipboard and walks over to you, Tom Jones, and says, "Please sign here. Could not find what you were looking for when it comes to music, but I did get you a breaking bar. We don't have a claw hammer."
That is fine. I will take the breaking bar, and don't worry. I was just hoping for a singular sale at some point. An autograph, don't mind if I do. And I'll just sign it like Love and Kisses, Tom J. And like that's on the signature
Tom,
line.
isn't your CD available through Ronco? I believe I saw it one night when I was watching Kiss of the Spider Woman.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like, yeah, the last time anyone ever saw a copy of it, it was being handed out at like the Enron Christmas mixer. And it's just like it's real. It's not okay.
No. It was supposed to be at the mixer, but then the Valdez went down and they canceled the mixer.
Precisely. Yeah. I think the last time like anyone played it in a CD player, I think it was when I think it was the last thing the Heaven's Gate group listened to. So it's got a select audience. But it's
a very
fine.
select audience. And then she moves to you, Scraps, and she gives you a piece. She holds the clipboard out and says, "Please sign here." And you can see there's a list of all the stuff you asked.
I didn't ask for nothing.
I thought you asked for one thing.
No, I told Rosie to get it.
And I did.
Well, but she heard you.
Oh, okay.
So it's
fine,
under your name.
Whatever.
And then she does the same thing with you, Rosie, and the same thing with you, Kyle. And
That is a sign.
it is typed out. It looks like on a actual typewriter. You didn't see one. That it's actually typed out in detail what the items are.
I appreciate a good stores program.
Even though you didn't ask for clips with bullets, she did provide 2 clips for each of the guns.
Oh,
That's
thank
very
you.
kind.
I like it. I like it.
And with that, she puts the clipboard on the little rolling cart and walks away. goes out the door, closing the door behind her. You did get a laptop and you did get a thumb drive.
I pick up the phone again and ring it.
Oh yeah, it's an actual desk phone with
Oh, perfect.
the
I ring it.
cord. Reception.
Thank you. And then I hang up.
She didn't say you're welcome. All right, so you have the equipment you requested. Are you going to make a copy of the?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm just
Yes.
checking. Just checking. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So, any other things you want to do or discuss here in this conference room at the conferences to go?
No, I'm ready to go check out those apartments.
That's
Same
the
here.
whole reason I wanted the copy was so we could get going and
Right.
refer back to it if we needed to.
Yeah.
So when you
Which
pull
one
the
of you
US,
is the computer expert?
Me?
Okay. I hand you the laptop as well as the thumb drive copy.
Oh, I'm so glad this one doesn't need an actual thumb to go with it.
isn't it?
Okay.
No, it doesn't. So when you pull the other USB drive out, the screens revert to the Philadelphia skyline.
Cool.
But you see on the remote that you could change it to. There's a lot of different options on the remote.
I was wondering about that. Is there a hell option?
No, but there is a tropical paradise option.
I'll select it.
And you can see there's like the blue waves and the blowing palm trees.
Well, let's get to the first crime scene, shall we?
All right. I assume that's the Joe Dean house.
Yeah, it's the first victim.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
wants,
that'd be Joe Dean.
Yep.
who wants to drive? Yeah, no, that'll be me. I take
I was gonna say, like, my hand starts to go up, and even I put my own hand down.
I had to drive last time, and let's just say I'd rather not.
Okay, so Omega Control, if you could give me the second thing, that'd be great. Second poll results. All right, perfect. Okay, so get to the Joe Dean house. It's in the suburbs. It's a 2-story house. It's small, but it's very nice. He's got a yard, and he's actually got a driveway, so you can pull into the driveway or you can park on the street. Your choice.
let's pull into the driveway.
Okay. You gonna just approach the front door, or? Okay.
Check.
You-
Tom, you've got your badge, right?
Absolutely. Right
Cool.
here.
Did you put it in your pocket with a little plastic clip?
Oh, absolutely. Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
that's the only reason you got it up the right side up is because the plastic clip points down.
And I love the whole time too. I'm just like, ma'am, if you'll excuse me. Ma'am, if you'll excuse me, I just like never can remember what pocket it's in. Like it's just, it's very.
She did write down that it was badge number 999, which is really going to confuse the PD officers when she complains about you.
It's surprising. It's surprising how effective that is.
Yeah. Hello, Officer Price, Fisher Price.
There
please,
you go.
Thank you very much.
So when you get up to the front door, you can see where they have screwed in just a hasp, so that they can just lock the door so that it doesn't swing open. And there's a padlock on it. You can see that the door itself took several strikes to open. The whole handle area and deadbolt area is shattered.
So
Interesting.
is this anyone's specialty, getting through doors?
You have the key.
Oh.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't catch
Yeah.
Gave you
Okay.
the key.
With a key, I'm a specialist.
Yeah, you put the key in the padlock and it opens.
Scraps goes, I've got this one. All right. Yeah. Just.
Wow,
after,
amazing job, Scraps.
after y'all.
Okay, so this when you go inside, it is a nice. I mean, it's been refurbished recently. You'd say. It looks like somebody's still in the process of moving in, but what flies in the face of that is that as you walk in to the left, you can see a computer setup with 6 monitors, arrayed out up and down. He's got 3 stacks of 2. Obviously he's a designer, game designer, so maybe he plays games or he uses that to work. So there is a couple of things up on the walls, but there's a lot of boxes and not a lot of furniture.
Is he ordering from any place in particular?
I'm sorry?
Is these boxes being delivered from anywhere in particular?
Oh, no, these are like boxes full of stuff. Like somebody
Oh.
moved in. We'll say they're from
Okay.
Lowe's.
All
They're just the Lowe's moving boxes.
All right.
Which room was he killed in?
He was killed in the master bedroom upstairs.
Okay. Rosie, would you like to take a look at his rig and see if he had anything on the rig that might give us a lead?
Great.
His computer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his gaming rig.
Yes, sorry. I will do that.
I'm going to
Okay.
head upstairs.
Scraps, Tom, where are you gonna go? What you gonna do?
I'll probably follow Kyle upstairs.
I'll
Okay.
stay down here and keep an eye on Rosie just in case.
Okay.
Make sure you look for the residue.
Now, did you
100%.
shut
Oh,
the
I
door
will.
behind you and kind of like, so it wouldn't blow open in the wind?
Yeah.
Oh, hells yeah.
So when you go up the stairs, it's all hardwood, or planking. It's there's no carpet. It's really nice. There's no scuffing. It's like it's brand new. And when you get upstairs, the bedroom actually has more furniture than the rest of the house. Because it's the bathroom off the master bedroom that is the one where he was found. And you can see that there's police tape across that door, so that's the crime scene. When you go into the bedroom, you can tell that it's been searched, obviously by police or CSI. You can see where they've dusted and all kinds of stuff. They dusted the windows and things like that. What are you looking for specifically, or are you going into the bathroom?
I'm going to go into the bedroom, and again, I'm going to shoot the whole room quickly with video just to sweep the room.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn the lights on and pull out my flashlight and begin looking at the floor to see if we see any of the residue.
Okay. You don't see any.
We what?
Not in the bedroom.
Okay. Tom, you want to take a look in the bathroom while I check in
Yeah,
here?
I was actually just gonna say, like, I was gonna let you do your thing, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna check like the hallway, like leading to the bathroom, and then the bathroom.
So the
itself.
bathroom is actually off of the master bedroom. It's a master suite.
Got it. Okay, I missed that bit. So
Is
yeah,
this
I
a
guess
ritzy place? I'm sorry, is this a ritzy place?
For Philadelphia, it's a nice suburban house.
Okay, does it look new? Because you said the floors looked new. Does the house itself look relatively new?
The house is not new, but it obviously went through a makeover before
Okay.
before he started living here, or since he started living here.
Okay.
I mean, it's
All right, Tom.
it has no wear and tear on it yet.
Gotcha.
Scraps is going to yell from the first floor up. Hey, do you have one of those black light thingies that shows off, other colors in your kit?
Yes, I
don't.
do.
Well, yeah. Hey, you might want to. They always does that in the TV show. You might want to just see if anything sparkles up there.
Oh, that's smart. Normally, I use it to check my hotel bed for strange things. But yeah, that's a good idea. I pull out
Oh
the
hell, they can
light
do that.
and I'll use it as I'm moving around the room.
Okay. So you don't really see much. I mean, there's dust and lint and things. But this is a beautifully kept place, or it's brand new.
He's meticulous again, isn't he?
You don't think so, because there's boxes laying all over the place.
Okay. All right.
There's
What do you see,
boxes
Tom?
of half-filled boxes. Like, he dug through a box and pulled out what he wanted. There's like a dresser in here, a nightstand, and a bed. There's not like a bedroom set. It's almost like maybe he didn't have. This is the furniture he had. It's not new furniture.
Gotcha. How's the bathroom, Tom?
So Tom, when
Well?
you go in the bathroom, you could see where the body would have been,
Okay.
and the toilet's there. But when you're shining your light around and looking, you can see the residue, or the slime trail, as we're calling it, in the sink, and then it's on the floor, and then over up and in the bathtub.
Interesting. Interesting. Does it look like it's coming from a particular place, or like traveling to a particular place, or like it's just kind of just a thing?
You don't know which way it went.
That makes a
But
lot of sense.
it came in and out of one of those drains.
I'm gonna take one of those little adhesive strips that people use to lift fingerprints and see if I can actually get some of the residue, because I know that it kind of crumbled before, so I figured if I used an adhesive surface to try to.
Are you gonna get
collect
it where
some
you
of it.
saw a sparkle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get as clean a sample, and that would be my visual marker. So I'm gonna try to grab a small sample of that and see if I can sort of make a little bit of a mental map. So if I needed to draw it later, sort of, as crude as Tom would do, be like, here's a circle. This is the sink. Here's a slightly larger oval. That's the tub. Dotted lines of like where approximately the trails would have been.
So with the fire, you can see the fire, and you can kind of still smell the burn. You can see that the candle's still sitting there. The glass of the candle is there. And you can see the smoke, the soot trail going up the wall, but it looks like it was contained just there, and it just made a lot of smoky mess. And because it's also kind of on the ceiling.
I'm gonna kind of just like poke my head out from the bathroom and just be like, hey Kyle, you have one of those
It's Tom.
you have one of those little evidence bags perchance? I've got a candle here
course.
that would be.
I pull it out and hand it to Tom.
I'll take the bag, and I'll take I don't know, I guess I have tweezers. I guess I'll just
put the bag over top of it and pick it up.
Which would be the easy way to do it for sure. So I tried to knock it
so
gently.
make me a dex check. Make me a dex check.
Oh God. Here we go. Well, thank God I rolled a 16.
Okay. You're able to get it in the bag. The bag almost pulled out of your hand when you did it. Are you going to take the little glass top that was sitting next to it on the back of the toilet, put that in the bag too?
I would say that I would try to keep it together, yes.
Okay. You can tell that there's a lot of soot on the insides of the candle, but there is not a drop of wax left in that candle.
Interesting.
That's unusual.
And that candle lists that it can burn for up to 45 hours. But you don't know how long it had been burning, but it burned down to where there was no wax, and it caught the cardboard square that holds the wick on the bottom on fire.
On fire, but again, self-contained, and just kind of created almost
just a lot of smoke.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely something I'm going to want to take a deeper look at and possibly get analyzed, because what would cause something like that to burn like that?
Okay, down to Rosie. We'll come back to you, Tom. We'll come back to you,
Absolutely.
Kyle. Well, actually, Kyle, you're looking around. You don't really find anything. The bed's not really made. It looks like he just threw the covers back. So he wasn't in bed when this happened. He was in the bathroom. But Rosie, you fire up the gaming rig as best you can tell. It actually does have some pretty heavy duty password protection on it. So I need you to make me a computer user, please. And Scrap, so you looking around the bottom floor, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna head over into the kitchen. Since there was evidence that something was jumping out of the bathroom sink, well, let's take a look at the kitchen sink.
Okay. Actually, you start scanning in there, and you can see that there is a trail that's in the kitchen sink, comes down the countertop, and then moves on the floor back the direction you came from.
Well, now here's a good question. I'm hearing them upstairs. Is the master bathroom, excuse me, is it directly above me?
You're not sure.
Oh, okay.
But make me a spot check.
All right.
So Rosie, how'd you do on that roll?
Normal success.
Okay, you're able to get in after a while. It takes you about 15 minutes to get in. Fortunately, he doesn't have a lock on the number of times you can try. And it is obviously how he works. There's all kinds of software development programs on there. He does have things like, uh, Fortnite. So obviously when he's taking a break, but when it loads up, I mean, he uses all 6 monitors. He's got icons on all 6 monitors. This thing it's when it first started, it sounded like a damn jet engine taking off because of all the fans until
my
they got
God.
going. It's also water cooled. You got a little temperature gauge, right there on the right hand side bottom, so you can see how hot it's running. He does have an email account. You're not able to get into that though. That locks after 3 failed attempts.
I am gonna look for any evidence of like moving documents or a saved PDF of a lease or
Okay. With your success, I'll give that to you. You are able to find a PDF copy of the purchase statement for this house. He bought this house 6 months ago.
okay. That at least answers that. I'll just keep poking around on the computer, see if I find any more
Okay.
files that are of interest.
Okay. Scraps, how'd you do on that spot roll?
It was a normal.
Okay. As you're moving across the room, you just kind of feel a draft. And you look over and you realize that the window in the kitchen is open. At that time, upstairs, you hear the sound of breaking glass in the room next to the master bedroom. It sounds like someone has broken out a window. And we're going to stop there and take a break.
Good Lord. You and your cliffhangers.
So, with that said, we do actually have an announcement before we go. Why don't we say, Sally and Bill, why don't you guys take a break real quick, or whoever needs to take a break real quick, and we'll get Bill, actually I need you, never mind.
Okay.
So Bill, why don't you start doing your announcement? And
Oh, well, I didn't know I was doing an announcement tonight.
I can
Oh,
do it for you.
shame.
Sally and Tom, you can go
Yeah.
and just come back in about 5. I know Sally needs to get.
Yep.
See you in about 5. That'll give me a chance to refill my water.
There you go.
Shame on me. There we go. All right, I've got it right here. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime Gaming subscription. Prime Gaming subscribers support everyone on the show and get access to sub-only emotes and to special subscriber-only channel on the Games Tavern Discord. As the investigators face some roadside trouble, this looks like a good time. Nope,
You're
sorry.
good. You're good.
Sorry.
But don't forget to vote in the chat, because it does have an impact on the final part of tonight's investigation. There is one more vote to be done. So Bill, how are you enjoying the show or the game?
Oh, I'm having fun. Scraps is a little bit different character than I usually play. So
Yeah.
it's kind of fun delving in with him.
Yeah. So what do you think's going on?
Well, personally, I think it's something portal related. That's kind of where my brain goes. Some
Okay.
sort of dimensional rift,
Okay.
and or like some sort of phasing, and they're like caught between two points.
That's an interesting theory. Anybody in the chat have a theory on what's going on? If so, throw it in there. Now's the chance. But so are you enjoying playing Omega Files with us? I know this is like what, your 3rd game?
Oh yeah, it's 3rd game with playing here. I've been having a lot of fun just harassing you all from chat for a few weeks prior to that.
Oh, we've noticed. We've noticed you in there pinging us and beating on us while we're running.
You know, had to
So,
give you some harassment.
Yeah. So do you think you'll be playing with us in the future?
Oh yeah. I'm hoping after you guys get back from break, we get into November to see what you all have open and bring Scraps back out of retirement.
Oh, Scraps is never going to retire. He just moves to a different city being a hobo.
Yeah, you never know where that old feller's going to show up.
Do you want to tell some people about Scraps while we have time? Because I don't know if people have really learned much about Scraps.
Well, he doesn't talk too much about himself. He just grew up in Beckley, West Virginia, little coal mining town, raised by his grandma. And he finally just had enough and hit the road. Grandma was a little bit too. The old lady that we just met was a little too close for home for Scraps, and it's kind of why he was kind of clawing at the door. He's like, "Oh, I left this."
Yeah, with the plastic couch, right?
Yeah, but the furniture there was the old all brown 70s with the weird god awful yellows. Yeah. So this was he had to get out of there. And just he took the first train out of Beckley and never looked back.
That's understandable. And how has Scraps' life changed since he started working with the home office?
Well, he's been it's loss of freedom actually. It's because he actually has to be somewhere instead of just following the wind.
Kind of strapped down with that burner phone.
Exactly, and he's just not quite sure how he feels about it. But he did get a free trip to New Zealand, a place that a train don't go. So, of course, he's not quite sure what he feels about airports in India. He's probably not going to. Definitely not going to be going back any of those again.
Okay.
But he is kind of
Well,
curious though if anybody's still left in the cement.
oh, yeah, that would be a good question. I don't think I want to find that out. So you did get a credit card though for emergency purchases from the home office, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, it turned out the Visa wasn't what I thought it was supposed to be.
No.
But no, I have an
You
emergency.
did get a Black American Express back.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't know what to do with that. So he he just doesn't know what to do with the extra credit. So he's just kind of like he just forgot about it because he's not sure when they're actually going to make him pay it back. It was like the whole thing with ordering from the old lady. It's like hell, I don't want to know. I don't want to owe nobody nothing. People can't come looking for that kind of stuff later.
That's awesome. Well, if you want to go run and take a break,
I
we'll
will.
pass it off to Sally and Sean, and they can entertain you for a couple of minutes until we come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we do that? How we do that? All right.
Just talk. Yeah, tell us a little bit about your characters. Something that the audience doesn't know.
Well, Tom Jones started his career probably. I think that he would like to believe that his career started when he dropped out of high school, but probably it still hasn't fully picked up yet. He, I would say, is of a dubious and mixed success. Basically, there's like 3 people that begrudgingly deal with him at any given bar that he's at. Delusions of grandeur, nothing but, he's a very charming individual, despite the fact that he's very much like Russell Brand from Get Him to the Greek meets Klaus from Umbrella Academy. Just very sort of like mostly lanky, just a lot of like limbs that don't seem to ever really respond the way that he intends them to. And I think that just generally, I would say that he doesn't really ever respond to things like he probably intends to, or that other people would. He's an agent of chaos, but not by design. It just kind of follows in his wake. But oddly enough, for whatever reason, fate seems to smile, and he seems to get out of things scot-free. So he takes that as sort of as an unwritten sign of his destined success is the fact that nothing has gone so terribly that he hasn't been able to bounce back from it. And so he likes to think that he's like, just everything's coming up Tom Jones, like it's all good. And, despite the fact that he's usually the cause of most of his own strife. So, it's a mixed bag, but at least he's fun. At least he's fun.
So, Rosie, I'm curious, when you stopped being a vigilante, what happened that turned you away from being an active vigilante?
Your body can only withstand so much. And I think she also just kind of got bored of doing the same old stuff. So she quit doing vigilante work and then kind of discovered this kind of stuff instead. But yeah, she's just a kooky old lady who just wants an adventure pretty much. She lives by herself and she's always been kind of nuts. So, but she's smart and capable.
Fair
Well,
enough.
that's good. So we're all back. So let's go ahead and get started back. Where we left off was the sound of breaking glass. Sounds like a window, perhaps, in the second bedroom upstairs being broken from the inside. And Scraps had just noticed that a window downstairs was open in the back of the house. So, Kyle, since you're the closest to the noise, what is your immediate reaction? You pull your gun?
I pull my weapon, ensure that it is ready for service, and move towards the sound quickly. And I go,
Okay.
Tom, come.
Yeah. I'm just huh? What? Yeah, okay.
Okay. Now, Scraps, you were like, hey, there's a shh. You can hear it upstairs. What's your immediate response?
First thing he's going to do is he's going to go over to Rosie and say, hey, we're not alone here. The window's open in the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's how you heard the breaking glass, was it came through the window in the kitchen.
Uh-oh. There we go.
I'm back.
We lost Rosie for a second. She was frozen with the not knowing what she wanted to do next.
Yeah, I'm gonna give up on this computer now. And I think I'm going to investigate the slime trails.
Okay. So Kyle, are you moving down the hallway towards the
Absolutely.
second, what you know is the second bedroom door?
Yeah, I'm presuming there is someone in the house coming in or going out that I need to accost.
Okay. What are you going to do when you get to the door? It's closed.
Is the door closed?
Yes. It's been closed the whole time.
Okay, I check with my left hand, my non-shooting hand, to see if it, check the knob, see if it's unlocked and open, if I can push it open.
It is locked.
I step
a pry
back
bar.
and glance at Tom. And I don't think there's any chance in hell Tom can open this, but I glance at him and look at the door.
Tom, take it away.
I've got a pry bar.
You have a breaking bar, which is even better than a pry bar.
Even better. Exactly. I'm just
I look absolutely stunned that Tom has the right tool for this moment.
I mean, where there's a will, there's a fulcrum, or however that goes. It's
So-
that's fine.
Tom, just roll me some dice. I want to know how well you're able to pry this door open.
Well, all right. If we're just doing a flat D100,
Yep.
that is a 14.
Okay, so he shoves it in there, and you hear it buckle and break. Because after all, this is actually what the fire department uses. And he just tears the handle out of the frame, and the door just goes really fast, goes right in, and then stops halfway through. And downstairs, Scraps, you're whoa, and something hit the ground.
I was about to ask, is there a back door out of this place?
There is. It's not
And
in the
that's-
kitchen. You have to go when you're back with Rosie. It's down the hall. So
is the sound coming closer to the kitchen window?
the sound was outside. You could hear it through the open kitchen window. It sounded like someone fell outside.
Oh, what the hell! It ain't the first time I've climbed through a window, and that's where I'm headed. I'm headed to the kitchen window, and I'm about half out of it.
All right, so I need you to make me a dex check just to see how fast you get out.
All right.
Kyle, what are you gonna do? The door just it shot open and then stopped at like 90 degrees.
I move into the room
hell
with my
yeah.
pistol drawn.
Okay, so what you see is whoever was in this room had tied a series of sheets to the door handle and had gone out the window. And when the door all of a sudden broke open, lost several feet of expected strength. Sudden drop at the bottom.
I will lean out the window, pointing my weapon down, and say, "Freeze, FBI."
Okay, so make me that. What did you get? Scraps, what did you get?
I got a 19.
Okay, so
I'm probably about out the window up to my waist.
okay, so what you see, Kyle, is you see Scraps crawling out the window. This guy is about 3 feet to the right of Scraps, and he looks like he's trying to get up and, move away. And you have your gun on him. You don't know if he's going towards Scraps or not, but he's trying to get up.
How's he dressed? What's he look like?
So, if you want to take a look at image 4.1, that'll answer all your questions. He's a scruffy-looking gentleman with gray hair and a gray mustache that looks very unkempt, with a beard that's unkempt, with a black hat and a jacket that, a very well-used winter coat.
So I'm going to try to make a quick assessment of whether I think he's a homeless person, because there are certain flags and markers of the homeless population that you can identify pretty quickly.
Not homeless, but not well off.
Okay. I say again, freeze, or I will shoot.
And so Scraps, you're climbing out the window.
Scraps is when he hears Kyle from above, just goes, "Bob, listen to him. He's crazy," and I keep climbing out the window.
So you're almost out the window. The guy goes, "You can't shoot. You're the cops."
I can. I'm very good. This is what I tell myself. I'm very good. I hit 93% of the targets I shoot at.
Cops aren't allowed to shoot people. They don't have weapons. And he looks like he's trying to crawl away. He looks like he hurt his knee when he fell. But he's not going anywhere fast.
Okay, that's all I'm worried about.
But he definitely thinks you're police.
I lean back in and I go, I look at Tom. I say, "Officer Jones, please go arrest that man. Citizen's arrest."
Gladly. I will jump out of the second-story window.
Rosie. Okay, Rosie, what are you doing during this whole escapade as Scraps is climbing out a window, yelling at somebody? You hear somebody fall to the ground outside. Kyle is threatening somebody with a gun. At least that's what it sounds like. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna just casually walk down the hall to the back door?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's right there, and you can just undo the lock and open the door.
I'm just gonna open the door and be like, "What's going on back here?"
So, Tom, you're gonna jump out the window?
Yep.
Okay, Kyle, he looks like he's gonna jump out the window. Do you want to try and stop him? I mean, he starts running towards the window, and he looks like he's going for a dive.
Is he running well? I mean, does this look like something he's practiced to my eye?
Well, if he has, he's not real good at running.
I was gonna say, the only
he is
running
a
I think I've ever
theater-
done is from a bouncer, so...
I would say you're getting a
You're
a Captain Sparrow kind of vibe on his run out that window.
I put a hand out and try to stop him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an opposed strength check. But I'm going to give you advantage, Kyle, because Tom Jones, he, like 50 pounds soaking wet in a winter coat?
Oh, easy.
My strength check, my better one is a 21 against a strength of 40.
Okay.
And
Tom, how'd you do?
I do want to
I
use
got
one point to turn it into the next up success.
Oh. All right. Perfect.
76. So yeah, I'm like a leaf on the breeze. Like just...
So Kyle, you put your hand out to stop him, and this could have made the highlight reels on the NFL after a game, because it literally looks like you hit him so hard. Not only does he flip, his legs go way up in the air, but he flips all the way around and lands on his stomach. You barely touched the man.
I pull
like
him
a
back to
Jackie
his feet.
Chan stunt.
I pull him back to his feet. I brush him off real quick. I smile and I say, "Use the stairs, friend. Use the stairs."
So Tom, you're gonna take 1 point of damage from that.
Yep.
'Cause
100%.
that hurt. That hurt a lot. You're not really sure how you managed to flip over and land on your face, but it was like falling down a flight of stairs, drunk,
Yep. Which
you're familiar with.
I was gonna say, which is why it's only 1 point of damage as opposed to more.
Yeah, because you went limp as soon as your feet left the ground.
I mean, that's just practice, baby. That's just
He
knowing
is a master of
what-
drunkito.
Yeah, you've never seen somebody ragdoll so easily,
Yep. 100%.
and maybe that was the problem.
I kind of just pick myself up and I go, right, stairs, good, and then just like walk and just proceed down the stairs to go and arrest this man.
Okay, Scraps, you gonna finish climbing out the window?
Oh, hells yeah.
Okay, you climb out the window, you land on the ground, Rosie opens the back door and walks out. And Rosie, take it away.
What the hell is going on back here?
Scraps looks up and goes, "He fell out the window."
Yeah, Scraps, you see that the sheets made it, well, with the door open to about 6 feet above the ground. You're guessing he was close to the bottom when all of a sudden it jerked a couple of feet down.
That sheet trick never works. Are you all right, friend? And he kind of grabs him by the
He's like,
scruff.
no, I can't be arrested. And he's like trying to pull himself away on what is obviously a dislocated knee.
Oof. God.
Oh, friend, you ain't going nowhere anytime soon. Why don't you just sit right here and rest?
I can't afford to be arrested. I'm on bail.
Well, then what? We'll just talk.
Okay.
What are you doing here?
Well, and he points over and you see a laptop that's like shattered. He landed on top of the laptop. That's probably what hit his knee. You know, it's got like a knee-sized dent in it that broke it. Which Rosie explains why there was a docking station near the gaming rig, but no laptop.
Oh. Okay.
It all becomes clear.
Yes.
And so he's, I just like, and he just looks completely defeated. He also looks like he hasn't had a good day in a long time.
Why don't you tell us, friend, why you were borrowing something from this nice little place?
Well, it was an empty house, and I know that the cops had already gone through it, and I figured there might be something simple I could grab so that I could sell it, pawn it, make some money.
Yeah.
The laptop was all I was able to grab before you showed up. I had just come in the back window.
At this point, I feel like Tom Jones will have finally made it down the stairs and into the backyard, and just is like,
he's just sitting there, and you can see that his leg is bent at the knee off to a weird angle.
That's what you get. For Windows. You're under arrest. You under arrest? Is that what we're doing? No.
It's
Please
probably
don't
not.
arrest me. I can't afford to go back to jail.
You have
It's
the
not
right
worth
to
all.
remain talkative.
It's
I'll
not
do
going to
whatever
be
you
worth
want.
all the paperwork, man.
I'll tell you what. I'll become an informant for you.
Okay.
No,
Good.
not great. No.
Oh, bad. I'm gonna
Please,
sit
I can't afford to go back to jail.
Well,
Can
how
you
about
just-
this?
Give
Can we
me the
go
laptop
inside?
and
It's
go
cold.
away. Give me the
Cold out here.
laptop and leave.
What's that?
Give me the laptop and you can leave.
And he looks over and it's broken and he doesn't have it in his hands anymore. He let go of it when it dislocated his knee.
Oh.
Let me ask you this. Since you've been looking about, have you seen any other people lately?
Well, they're no, not in the house. I just got in the house.
Well, I understand that, but you had to be casing the place, didn't you?
Well, I did, but there was a black SUV here for a while. I waited till they left.
You didn't by chance see, was it local? Was it
Yeah,
Pennsylvania?
it was a Philadelphia license plate.
All right. Did it look official?
I don't know. It could have been. Didn't have government plates. It wasn't a cop car. Windows were all tinted.
Didn't see anybody coming and going in and out of the
No, it was
SUV?
just just it was there and then it drove away after a while.
Okay.
Interesting.
It's,
And when was this?
About an hour ago.
Well, hell.
Do you think you could fix my leg? Could somebody kind of pop it back into place?
I
please?
can try.
I'd step out the back door with a fresh cup of coffee from the kitchen. I think I can help you.
Well, he actually has a Keurig, so it was very quick and easy.
Nice.
I think we should let Kyle do it. I don't actually know anything about medicine. I was just gonna do my best.
And he
I've
kind of
also
looks at
said-
you like, "What? You were gonna do it? You didn't know what you're doing?"
Yes, she was.
Yeah, I've dislocated this knee before. Yeah, it really sucks.
Now I
I'm
lean
ready.
down,
And he kind of goes like this.
I get on the ground and I say, you know, what I want is I want you to watch Tom Jones do his dance. And when he gets to the part where he's going to shimmy, that's when I'm going to pop it. Okay? Tom, do your
Why is he
dance.
gonna shimmy?
And the whole dance is a shimmy.
Ah!
As soon as he starts, I pop it in.
I was gonna say, the whole dance is basically just this.
Hey, can we go inside? It's cold out here.
I rolled a 13 on 47 first aid to pop that thing in.
Nice. You hear that as it goes right back into the joint, and he's able to move around. Move it just a little bit. I mean, he's not gonna be walking well on it, but at least he didn't break it.
I look up at Rosie and go, that's a fine knee joint, all things considered.
You did a great job. Much better than I would have done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna argue about going back inside. It is a mite cold out here.
We get
That
him up and
coffee-
get him inside.
And
Okay,
that cup
yeah.
of coffee does smell quite nice.
And he'll sit and he'll talk to you, and he'll tell you that he can give you whatever he can find information for you. What do you want to know? You know,
No, we just
he
need
runs
to
the
know.
pawn circuit.
So does it strike anyone as strange that this guy only had this house for 6 months and that the woman last night had only had her business for 9 months? It seems like they're all coming into wealth and success, and then bad things are happening. That's what it seems like to me. But I may be undercomplicating it.
Gonna say, well, I guess we'll know more if we go and investigate the other one just to see if anything else lines up. But that's a mighty fine hypothesis you've got going on there. At least,
Thank you.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
while they're talking right here, I'm gonna finish looking where that trail come out of the kitchen.
Yeah, I know Rosie was going to look for it too. So between the two of you, one of you shining a light and the other one following, you can follow it. It actually goes from the kitchen, across the hall, down into another room that's down here, and it goes onto a box. You can kind of see it in the box, and then, but coming out the other side of the box, there's like a line in the trail. and that moves all the way to the downstairs bathroom to the toilet. There's a line that's kind of moving with the slime trail.
I'll just pop the top on that box. Anything of
Oh, the box is open.
okay.
And it's like kid memorabilia. Like there's a baseball in there, that's got like a signature on it. There's trophies, just all
Alright.
stuff like that a kid would keep.
All right.
And you can see that his name is on the trophy.
Okay.
Hmm.
No idea
Interesting.
if anything would be missing, I wouldn't have a clue what it was.
We saw nothing in the other lady's place to lead to her childhood or to any kind of memorabilia, right? I
Well,
don't
no,
remember
she
anything.
had a missing spoon of her collection.
That's right. That's
The
right.
state of Georgia was missing off her 50 state spoon collection.
Hmm.
I had an aunt who collected those things. It's like, what are you going to do with a spoon that big?
No, and Tom goes, well,
You know what?
No,
That's probably
it's
best.
fine.
I don't
It's-
know the answer to that.
Actually, Scraps, with the people you run with, you actually know what that spoon that size could be
Well,
used
no,
for.
that's
But it'd
a
be
little teeny
worthless to do
tiny
it with a
one.
silver spoon.
Yeah, it's just a teeny tiny little thing.
Ask our man with the bad knee. Do you know anything about the person that lived here, or did you just wander in because it was an empty house?
I just came here because I knew that there had been a homicide and that the cops weren't here.
Okay.
Thought it'd be an easy
you
score, and it wasn't.
And you say there was an SUV sitting out front for until about an hour ago?
Yeah, a black SUV. I didn't approach because I thought it might have been the cops.
Do you have any idea why they left? Was there anything that happened right before they left?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Did you get the license number?
I didn't. I don't remember it. Had a T in it.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
very helpful. Thank you.
A
Thank
4,
you.
a
I'm
T and a
still working
4. I don't know
with
what the rest of the numbers were.
that. Okay. You didn't by chance see the people sitting in the SUV?
No, the windows were tinted.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, I would like to. Do you have a phone? What's your name?
Yeah,
sir?
yeah. I could give you my number if you want to get in touch with me if you need information or something.
What is your name?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself, did I?
No,
It's Jacob Jacobson.
that sounds made up. Let's try again.
No, unfortunately, that's my real name. My dad wanted to be able to call his son JJ.
Okay, I buy that.
I hate the name.
So, can you
Well,
please
from
give
here
me
on
the
out,
phone
you're
number?
Bob.
Please.
Most people just call me
Actually,
Sticky Fingers.
I rustle around in my bag and bring up another plastic badge, and this one is a Men in Black badge. And I
Okay.
flash it to him. I go, I'm not actually FBI, Jake. I'm actually one of the Men in Black. Although I am on vacation, as you can see. So
Does it
I
mean
need
that
you to-
aliens had something to do with this?
it's possible. It's
Oh,
possible.
I don't like
I
that.
look
I've
at
been
the group. I
abducted
say,
before. It's terrifying.
would we say it's possible at this point, group, that it might be aliens?
No
Anything's
wonder I picked
possible
this
here.
house. Oh God, I gotta get out of here. And he gets up and he's like trying to hobble his way out. No, there's
Jake. I don't
aliens
want you
here.
to
I gotta
do
go.
this. Jake, don't make me tase you.
Hey,
Okay.
hey,
I
I'll
am
come back.
deputizing you, Jake. You're going to
Oh,
become a deputy Man in Black, even though you're not in black. Now,
I have a
what I
black
want
hat.
you to do, I
Black
want you to
cap.
go. I want you to give Rosie Stone your phone number, and I want you to go across the street and hide yourself. And I'm going to give you $50 so that you can order food to be Ubered to you when you need it. For the next 3 days, I want you to watch this house. And if that SUV shows up, I want you to call Rosie. And if
Okay.
anybody else shows up trying to get in, I want you to call Rosie. Can you do that for me, Jake?
Yeah, I could do that.
Awesome. You are the best. I'm so glad I did a good knee job on you and didn't do the excruciating pain version.
And he kind of blanches at that. Looks a little faint.
It's very kind of you.
Yeah, I could do that. And he's just kind of got that fake smile on his face, like, oh God, what did I get into?
All
If the
right.
aliens come, I'm running. Just warning you now.
That's fair. Just call us first, okay?
I'll call you while I'm running.
Rosie, if you can take Deputy MIB Jake's information, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, but I'm getting it. All right.
And he gives you his phone number. No problem.
Yeah, and I'm gonna force him to call me right then to make sure he's not lying.
And he calls you and your phone rings.
Great. We're good.
You can see that the screen on his Motorola phone is a little bit cracked, maybe from the fall.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's valid.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we lost Tom for a moment.
Nope, he's
All right,
back.
we're good.
All right, he's back.
It was a temporary blackout.
I must
Which
have
he
blinked
is
or
used
something.
to.
Tom disappeared. Aliens. All right. So is there anything else you want to look at in this house?
Have we seen what we needed to?
Well, in the guest room, call it a guest room, there is no bed. It just seems to be kind of like a storage area. Like he doesn't have the furniture. He hasn't bought furniture to fill this house.
That's another. I want to look around the house and see if I find any indication of how he bought the house. It's really weird that he doesn't have it furnished.
Okay.
To speak of.
So
I'm looking for something that shows that he has come into wealth. I think that's where this may be going.
You can find and Rosie, you could find this on the computer, that he landed this job about 6 months before he bought the house. And it's a very well-paying job. Before then, it appears that he was a struggling programmer and didn't have, this was his break.
So is this some sort of weird genie makes a wish thing or monkey's paw thing going on?
Like, how do you even get a house financed if you've only been working at the job for 6 months?
He makes a lot of money now.
Yeah, you'd have to make so much money they'd look the other way.
He makes,
It's
he
kind of
makes
like
a lot of money now.
It's kind of like our
That's
wedding
wild.
planner. She'd only opened her business 9 months ago and she's busy every single weekend. Very unusual. Typically, you're going to lose money on a business the first 3 years.
And then they all have these weird slime trails leading into toilets and sinks and stuff.
Makes me wonder if the slime trail is the genie, right? Maybe they're making a wish on some sort of weird sewer creature. That's weird, but I like it.
Wouldn't be my first time. Wait.
Really?
Really? I've prayed to
Tom?
porcelain. Look, half my life has been praying to porcelain gods. I figure something's got to be listening in some sense.
Okay. All righty. Well, let's take a quick walk through the house, each room, just to see if we spot anything unusual that we've missed during all the chaos, and then we'll head to the other crime scene.
Well,
Yeah, the guest bedroom, because you were up there.
Wait.
Go ahead.
This is a more upscale neighborhood, right?
It's a nice suburb. It's not like upscale suburb. It's nice.
Okay.
These are small houses.
All right. Well, look, in this modern age, everybody's got security cameras. Is there any of that crap posted nearby that we could get access to?
You don't see any on his house. There will be like a door cam a couple houses down. This is still, remember, it's 2020. There's not as many people have the
Right.
cameras on their houses yet.
That's true. I just thought I'd ask.
Any internal?
No, he doesn't have any internal security cameras. You don't see any of the, it's
the
a nice
nanny
neighborhood
cams
with
or
no
anything like
crime.
that.
He probably didn't even think about it.
All right. Just something to think about if we kind of come to a dead end. Might be something to look for and see if we can get any more information on that black SUV.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's a good
So I
idea.
can tell you that in the guest room upstairs, the second bedroom upstairs, that's obviously where he's putting all the empty boxes. So he's flattening the boxes, and there's a stack of boxes in there. Probably equals the amount of boxes that are full or half full around the place.
Does it seem like there's enough stuff throughout the house to make up for that?
You would guess that there's enough stuff in this house to fill a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. He's moved up, but he hasn't actually bought anything except the house.
Yeah.
And maybe that rig.
Right.
Yeah.
That rig is expensive.
So
Yeah.
was the girl at the wedding planner, did she exhibit similar behavior? Was she living in a very sparse lifestyle, but very meticulous and well off?
She was in a 1-bedroom apartment in a lower
Okay.
bracket area, but she has money in her bank account.
Hmm.
And she has work from the books that you found. So maybe she hasn't moved. I mean, and there was a lot of new stuff in her apartment.
She seemed really successful.
And
Yeah,
don't
like there was
forget,
a new big television and other stuff like that.
don't forget, we still haven't looked at her laptop or her phone yet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You did
Let's
look at her
that.
laptop.
I looked at her laptop. That's how
Oh,
I
okay, that's
found
right.
out.
We just haven't looked at her phone.
I
Yeah.
pull the phone out and hand it to y'all. Why don't we look at this while we drive?
Sounds like a great idea to me.
I will
So
say, my operating theory right now is you wish on the magic slug, you become successful, it kills you.
Me too.
I'm assuming you relock the padlock on your way out.
Yeah,
Do you close the kitchen window?
Mhm.
close it and lock it.
Yeah, I know
We
there's
make
nothing you can
everything
do
as-
about the top window, but
We pull up the sheets. We try to make it all as normal as possible looking from the outside.
okay.
Gloves on.
Because this happened in the middle of the day, everybody's at work. So there was
Perfect.
nobody around to see it
Woo.
or hear it. So
Fantastic.
yeah. All right. Rosie, I'm assuming you're going to be trying to use the phone to look around.
Yes.
Okay, make me a computer use. Yes, Kyle, you had something you wanted to say.
While we're en route to our next place, I'm going to stop at a Kinko's or UPS or something like that, someplace with a business center. And I'll just go in, I'll leave the car running. I'll say, I'll be back in about 3 minutes. And I walk in and I'm going to quickly type something up on their word processor and print 2 copies. And I come back out with some tape and I tape. Oh no, I'll do this later. I've got fake license plate numbers to tape over mine when we get closer to where we're going.
Yeah, if there's any moisture on the road, it'll eat those pretty quick. So you want
That's
to wait till you
okay.
get there.
I'll wait till I'm close.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause you have out-of-state license plates, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I-
Rosie.
I failed, so I'm just gonna say like I'm not so good with the phones and
So
this
you can
new
push it
technology.
and roll again.
Okay.
If you fail, it's going to lock the phone.
Oh. No, I'll just hand it to someone else and see if they can get in.
Are either of you good with phones?
We
Hell,
got a broad group.
I don't want the phone I got.
I
Oh
was
my
gonna say,
god,
yeah.
I'll just try again. Jesus.
I'll help you, Rosie. I sit behind her and over her shoulder and try to help.
Well, who's driving?
Okay, so
Hold it.
Rosie, go ahead and make your roll.
I got a half success.
Okay, good. Oh, so you got a good success?
Yeah.
Okay, great. You get the phone unlocked. You were on your last try before it locked itself. And you get it open,
Oh, thank God.
and you can see that she has a bazillion voicemails. All in the
Well-
last day.
Well, I
Well,
would
actually,
go.
It's
excuse
gonna take
me,
a while.
in the last several days, because she's been dead for 6 days.
Well, she's a wedding
and-
planner, so
Yeah, and obviously she missed one wedding.
I look at Rosie. I say, "Have fun going through those. I'll be driving."
Oh no, wait, I'm
I
sorry.
do-
She died yesterday. I'm sorry, I lied. She died yesterday, but she does have a whole bunch of voicemails.
does her phone have the thing where you can like click on it and it'll show you the text of the voicemail real quick?
No,
Dang
she
it.
hasn't gotten a new phone yet.
Then I'll sit there and like listen to the first few seconds of each voicemail to see if
Okay.
any of them sound important.
And they're all about the weddings that are upcoming.
Great. Well, there's a lot of wedding stuff.
Well, why don't you go back 9 months? That's when she got into all this business. Go look through on her timeline about 9 months
Boy.
ago.
Yeah, I'll look on her social media as well as in her text messages and stuff.
Okay. Make me a luck roll. See if you spot something.
I got a 13.
Okay, that's a good luck roll.
Yeah.
You
Even
can
if it is a 13.
Yeah.
yeah. So what you're able to see or find is that she has you find this that she's got Joe Dean's phone number in her. Yeah. And then you say, oh, okay, hold on. And you check, and Timothy Turner is also in there. But just as Timothy, so it's Joe and Timothy. But the
Huh.
numbers match their phone numbers in the police reports.
Hey guys, the other murder victims are in here as contacts.
Well, is there any way to track any sort of communication history? I don't. Hell,
No,
I don't.
it's probably timed out,
Are there any
especially with
texts
the amount
from
of
them?
calls she gets.
Are there any texts from them or emails or voicemails from those numbers?
Yeah, I'm gonna like search the phone number in the phone and see if anything comes up. What
Which
about
phone number?
the other people's phone numbers?
Oh
'Cause
no,
when it
you
comes to
you
text.
don't find any texts or voicemails from them.
What about like Facebook? Like, do they have pictures together or anything?
Not that you find. Basically, she posts a bazillion Facebook messages about weddings,
Yeah.
and it becomes so tedious to go through. You're like, oh my god, I'm gonna throw up if I see any more white.
But I'm gonna go back 9 months.
Okay. You don't see any Facebook photos of either of the other two. No.
But do I see like what kinds of things she was doing before she got into the wedding industry?
In her Facebook account, she does like the 3 or 4 months before, she's posting things about how you have to believe in yourself, all these like empowering quotes and things that she's
Affirmations.
yeah, affirmations, thank you, that's the word I was looking for. Before that, it's like a freaking desert. There's almost nothing of any. I mean, it's oh, I gotta find another job, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just crap. Her life was crap before, about a year and a half ago.
Man, her life really seemed to suck before this wedding stuff.
Any indication of where she got the positivity from?
Nope.
No.
There was like a month period where she didn't post anything, and then all of a sudden she starts posting all these positive things.
Is there any chance we can check her emails or possibly her purchase records? I wonder if she went on a retreat somewhere or something strange like that.
That's why I was
They're not on
thinking-
her phone.
Some
Sorry.
self-help guru of
They
some
were on the
kind.
laptop.
We'll also have to be on the lookout at the next scene.
Yeah.
For sure.
How
Okay.
close are we to
Oh,
the next scene?
I'm gonna
Yes,
look
go
up
ahead.
anything about Georgia in the phone. Does anything come up?
Nice.
There is one post about Georgia, and it's the video of Georgia on my mind,
Okay.
and it happened after all the affirmations started.
Well,
Well-
hopefully it was the Ray Charles version.
Yes.
How
So,
close are we?
and with that, you're pulling up to Timothy's house or his apartment complex.
I pull past Timothy's house
Ah,
and get out, and I tape my fake license numbers over my license plate
okay.
and then pull back around.
So this is what used to be old factories. So they're big brick buildings. They have nice new windows, and you can see where they've been converted into condos. And it's like a 5-block area that this has happened in, and outside of that, it's empty, abandoned warehouses. So it's like they're trying to bring people in, but the area around it still sucks.
Okay.
Yes, this is attempted gentrification. I love this style, by the way. I wouldn't mind living in a warehouse.
Mm-hmm. So,
Perfect.
It's not as fun as you think it'd be.
Really? Why
You
not?
took the words right out of my mouth.
he's not talking one that's, broken and worn down.
I don't mean a dirty, dingy actual warehouse.
Oh,
I mean
sorry.
one that's been cleaned up. So it has all the fun of the warehouse without any of the bad stuff.
Oh, no. Well,
Yeah.
this will be a nice change then.
Yeah.
Okay.
go.
So when you go in, it's a nice, pretty building. I mean, it's gorgeous inside. They've done it all up in tile work, and I mean, they're really trying to get the gentry in here. And you can see that there's a couple of apartments, they're big apartments, per floor. And he is actually on the 4th floor. So he has one of the higher, it's 4 floors, so he's got one of the top bedrooms.
Right.
And the elevator will ding get you up there. You can find his door, no problem. Omega Control, can I get the 3rd and final vote for the night? That's what I thought. Okay. So when you get to his door, you can see that it's been busted in. It again looks like a breaking bar was used to crack the frame, and there's the same little latch that they put on the frame in the door, and there's a padlock, and there's crime scene tape across the door.
Guess what I got?
Yes. Easily opens. When you open the door, it is, oh my God, this is amazing. It's gorgeous in here. I mean, it's beautiful. It's all tile work and plush rugs where there isn't tile. It's all white and light and airy. There's a big, it's got a huge area. It's 20-foot tall ceilings because it's the top of the building. Big, huge, gigantic windows. And then there's obviously rooms in the back to the right. There's a kitchen over to the left.
Beautiful to look at. I'd hate to have to heat this thing. What a beast.
Yeah, the heating in it would suck.
And they don't make old warehouses like they used to anymore. This place doesn't even have an appropriate, it doesn't even have a decent pee corner. Like, what is this? Like, come on.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, you can't even smell the urine anymore.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You guys have got problems.
Let's get to the important work, guys. I
So
walk over to the kitchen and begin scrounging to make coffee. Okay,
the heat is on, and not just the song, but the heat is on because it's a radiator system.
All right.
So there's a couple of radiators that you can see. So be warned, they are hot.
Actually, before Kyle goes into the kitchen, I'm like, wait. The last place, something came out of the kitchen sink. So before you tromp all over.
He died in the kitchen.
Oh, he did? Oh, never mind.
He died in the kitchen.
Sorry.
You might not want to eat anything in the kitchen.
Everybody's been dying in the bathroom. I forgot.
Are we saying the kitchen is the primary crime scene here?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, that's a problem. Okay, I'll be right back. I walk out of the apartment so I can get some cell signal.
Okay, actually, you have great signal in here.
Oh, good. Then I order. Anybody else want coffee?
I would like some, please.
2 sugars.
I put in an Uber order for coffee.
Okay. Not a problem. You can get coffee. When you look at the kitchen, there's a lot of smoke damage in here. And it's because you could see that there was a fire on the stovetop.
Before we got that far in there, I'm looking at.
Well, no, you can see this from outside the kitchen. It's because it marked up the beautifully painted wall.
I'm looking for the obligatory trail.
Okay. You do see that there is residue on the sink.
Uh-huh.
and then it looks like so it's on the sink, on the edge of the sink, and then over about 3 feet, you can see it on the countertop, comes down the sink to where the body was.
But is there an exit trail?
No, it's so, for example,
That's unusual.
there's a Y in, so if this is the countertop, it came in the sink here,
Yeah.
but here it goes to the edge of the countertop and stops, but it's definitely a separate trail.
Okay.
And that is across from the stovetop.
Rosie, did you bring the laptop that was broken from the last scene, the one the guy fell on?
Yeah.
Great, because I think we can actually probably salvage the hard drive and see what was on it.
That's why I grabbed it.
Something happened 6 or 9 or however many months ago that seems to be driving everything we're finding. So let's keep our eyes open here.
So Tom, what are you doing? You're just kind of wandering around looking.
I would say that I'm definitely taking in the space. I'm trying to see if there's anything, of it all seems so antiseptic that I'm trying to find evidence of this place at least being like,
well, there's
not just lived in. Right.
There is dust. Yeah. So there's a couple of things you notice. The television is brand new. There's a PlayStation. There's a whole rack of games, including games that are still in the shrink wrap, never been opened, for the PS4. There's dust on the surfaces, like he doesn't dust, and you see a pattern of little circles in the dust on a bureau that's over to the side against the wall. There's also like a picture of, a child with 2 parents. And the other like knickknacks on this thing. But the only thing, there's only breaks in the dust. They're little round circles, and they go from little bitty tiny to a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, and there's 5 of them.
Oh. Like nesting dolls?
Maybe. And as you're looking at them, you kind of look up, and staring you in the face is Timothy Turner.
Oh.
There's a picture, not only with Timothy, but Joe's in it, Robin's in it, and there's other people in it. And behind them, they're all like in shorts and t-shirts. They're all wearing the same color shirts. And behind them is a banner that says Camp Confidence.
And then I'll just kind of lean back while looking at the picture, just be like, "Hey guys, I've got a sense of confidence that I found a thing." And then
walk
just
over.
See, yeah, and then I'll just kind of be like, So
it's a group photo of 7 people, with the banner hanging behind them that says Camp Confidence. 6 of them are wearing the same t-shirts and pants, shorts. And then there's a gentleman next to them who looks older. They all look relatively young, in their late 20s, early 30s, maybe. He definitely looks like he's in his 40s, 50s. African-American, rough-looking gentleman, and he is ripped. He's got big bulging arms that are stretching out his shirt, but he has the same shirt, but it's a different color. And then he's also wearing long pants, like long fatigue pants style, and boots.
But
You said booties?
Boots, like
Boots.
like-
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They're all wearing tennis shoes, but he's wearing like boots, like
Now-
military style boots.
I've got to ask, this isn't the same gentleman I left at an airport in India, is it?
No, it's not.
All right. Well, I have to ask that question.
No, he doesn't have dreads or anything like that. He actually has a very close crop haircut.
I will go over and take a picture of the. How big's a picture? Oh, okay. So it's not like a wall.
Yeah, you can just like take it off the wall if you want. It's just in a frame on the wall.
Flip it and see if there are names written on the back.
No.
Sometimes people will do that.
No names.
There are.
There are not.
Nope. Okay.
No.
So let's start looking around. Let's scrounge the apartment, guys, and see if we can figure out who these other people are. I mean,
So do you point out the dust?
I was just gonna say that I'm just gonna go. By the way, Kyle, while we're at it, does this look like a nesting doll situation to you?
And it's a series of little circles that go from small to larger to larger to larger to larger in the dust. Like something was there and has been removed.
any idea what it might be? Is it a rack or a piece of furniture or a piece?
No,
of
it's very small, very small.
Sort of knick-knack.
And it's like a knickknack because there's all kinds of knickknacks on here, like pictures, like nostalgic stuff is on this table, and then the wall is pictures that are like nostalgic type. It's like a nostalgic nook.
Wait,
Think
how many
back-
rings were there?
5.
Oh,
Think back to the crime scene photos we saw earlier. Was there something there that's not there now that might explain what the dust?
You could pull it
dust
up on
rings
your computer and no, there's
Okay.
nothing there. Everything that was supposed to be, everything that's in the picture is still there.
And no
Okay.
glitter trails around
So you're gonna look for the glitter trail.
it. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
there is a glitter trail up the
All
side
right.
of the cabinet and then back down. So in this case, you could follow the glitter trail, and it goes from the bathroom, like shower, because there's a stand-up shower, down the hall to this cabinet, up the cabinet, and then back and into the toilet. And that's, you guess that's the way it was moving. And there's a line, like a drag line in the slime from the toilet to the cabinet. Similar, but not quite the same as the drag line at Joe's house in the slime
Does it
trail.
look like it was dragging something from the toilet to the cabinet, or vice versa?
Could be either way.
So at the very least, we know that all of these things have come from either from or to a shower or bathtub, to or
Mhm.
from a toilet, and at least 2 of these places have had missing what we can only assume are souvenirs. Now, I don't know if Camp Confidence is in Georgia, or if there's even a Georgian tie, or if it's just a souvenir type situation. But it seems like knickknacks. These people are connected. Knickknacks are missing, and bathrooms are involved. So basically, everything I know about Tumblr, or Grindr. What's the one?
I
So,
don't know.
are you gonna look around the rest of the apartment?
Yeah, I'm looking. So as I'm looking, I'm specifically looking at pictures to try to get a sense of what those things were. If they were truly childhood knickknacks, I think I might see them in a childhood picture potentially. So that's
Okay.
the eye I've got. Others
You
can
don't-
look for what they wish.
So in the pictures, you don't see anything that would represent, 5 little circles in a dust pile. It could be, like the dolls, but you don't see anything of that in the pictures that you see on the wall. Most of the pictures that are on the wall are, from when he's very young, and then recent pictures, including a picture with him standing in front of his new work, shaking somebody's hand who's in a suit. And when you wander around his apartment, you find that he's got a nice bedroom, and all of the furniture is brand new within the last 9 months. Maybe the last year. Can't really be sure, but the wear and tear on it's very similar across the board. The second bedroom actually has a drafting table on it, and all kinds of materials that you would expect to use if you were doing graphic design, which
Let me
matches
guess.
his occupation.
But let me guess.
So you're
All
saying
this
he's a
stuff is
legit-
brand new.
it's all new within, there's like no real wear and tear on it, like time tear, like a year plus. You know how you can kind of tell when a sofa's getting older. There's none of that. It's all relatively new, not like brand new, but relatively new.
And you're saying he's a legit graphic designer, not just someone who does it on the computer?
No, he actually
That's
he
unusual.
does it. Yeah, he does it on paper. He also has a computer with all the graphic designing tools on it. That's obviously, it links to his office.
Right.
Or to his work. But yeah, he has all the tools to do actual graphic design.
Are there security cameras in here?
No.
Okay. Does he have a camera on his laptop, like for doing streaming or talking?
He does. He does.
Hey, Rosie, can you see if you can pull anything off the laptop that might actually capture whatever was on that counter or anything else of interest?
Yeah, let me see what I can do.
Okay. And so as you move through the rest of his apartment, there just doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff after he's like 10 and before a year ago. It's like a gap of like 10 plus years where there's no nostalgic, there's nothing. Or maybe it was all lost.
Interesting.
Now, did we see a similar thing with previous?
So all of his stuff was still pretty much boxed up, except for the things that he was using. He hadn't really unpacked. But this Timothy has unpacked everything he owns. There's no moving boxes. There's nothing. Rosie, how'd you do?
I got a normal success.
Okay. You are able to get in there and see. You actually are able to get into his financial files. He's making good money now. He's not just on commission. He gets an very low hourly payment, but also like bonuses from his work. And he's very prolific on his work. And so he's got lots of bonuses. You can see where he bought this condominium or this condo about a year ago. And he didn't seem to have any money before then. It's like he opened new bank accounts and everything over a year ago.
While Rosie's doing that, let's look around for journals or anything else that might indicate his thoughts or his, diary or anything like that.
Okay. Does anybody want to look up Camp Confidence?
That's what I was about to say.
I was waiting for that. So Scraps, how are you looking it up?
Well, they got this fancy phone. I'll just type in slowly.
Okay.
And see what pops up.
When you open up Camp Confidence, you're greeted with, you can do it. We can help you get there. It's a motivational camp. And you see all kinds of pictures of people on obstacle courses, on, sitting around puzzles and all kinds of different activities. But it's like small groups of people.
Well, the question is, where?
Oh, it's in Alabama. Okay. I'm sorry, it's in Georgia. Sorry.
Georgia.
Outside of, it's out. I just hit a blank spot. It is in Georgia, and it is. Can I find it now? Of course. I can't find. It's just outside of. It's. I'll get it for you later. I can't find it right now. All right, so we're gonna say it's in Guadalupe, Georgia, near the swamps.
There we go.
Oh, that's a lovely area.
Okay. Interesting. So we do know now that.
And I'll try to look through the people who are running the show. Do I see any information on the guy in the boots?
So yes, actually you do. It's Staff Sergeant Steve Hawkins, and he is a retired Marine that opened up this camp 5 years ago and is happily bringing people through all kinds of training to gain confidence in themselves. That's really the whole goal. And
All right,
there's of course a email address where you can fill out a form and it'll email him. There's an information email address where you can send for email. There's a phone number.
Actually, now that I've seen all this, I'm gonna slide it over to Rosie and say, "What do you think of this?"
Well, George is the phone, the spoon that was taken from Robin's apartment.
Absolutely. I wonder if our friend here might have grown up in such an area. Is there any? Did anybody else find out any information about where he's from originally?
I'm still working on it. I've been trying to find like some kind of blog or anything on this laptop that tells me anything about him.
He was born in Massachusetts, not Georgia.
Oh well.
Any correspondence of any kind around the house?
There's emails, but you weren't able to get into his email account. He seems to do everything through email. There's no written correspondence. Can't find anything like that.
Any clues in the phone as to contacts? You know, we found contacts.
Oh, you didn't find his phone.
We did?
You did not find his phone.
On the original phone we had, is there any clue to, in terms of contacts that might be these other people? I.e., is there any indicator of like confidence or C camp or any kind of internal code that he might use to flag
No,
them, or
but you do see a phone number for Staff Sergeant Hawkins.
Guess we could call and ask if he knows all these people are getting killed, but something tells me he knows.
I mean, or he may not, right? He may have some he may have some idea why, but he may not know it's happening, and he may not be the one responsible. Certainly, if we were to call him and give him a heads up, you might be able to gauge his response and get some indication of it.
Do you want to call him? Because people tend to have some strange reactions to me.
I was actually thinking perhaps Tom. I mean, Tom is a bit of a celebrity. It is potential. He's done at least one show for the Marines, I'm sure.
He is very charming.
Yeah, but
I
they threw
definitely
canteens at him that time.
I was gonna say I've definitely done a fair show or two in a marina. That's not what
So,
you meant. It's not
I'd
true.
recommend you give him a call, Tom. Just have your story straight before you call him. Not a whole lot of ooh.
Oh, naturally. Naturally. Wait, no, I messed that one up too. Dang.
So Rosie,
Don't overthink it.
Maybe you need a boost to your career, something like that.
Yes, perfect. Audiences have dropped off a little bit lately thanks to Spotify and things of that nature. So yeah,
Absolutely.
trying to get more butts in seats, and I'm starting to feel like I'm losing my edge. I'm getting up in years. I'm almost an age that I am. I don't know.
It sounds like it's the perfect cover for you.
Perfect.
okay, so Rosie, you think if you had more time with this laptop, you might be able to crack the email, but you're not sure. If you take it with you, you might be able to crack it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna take it.
Let's
with me.
take it. Let's also hook up the other, get whatever we need for the other hard drive to hook it up. We'll pull it out of the other laptop and hook it up, maybe in an external box with cable or something like
Yeah,
that.
you can definitely stop and get that.
Yeah,
Now-
that works.
Okay. So when you leave, because Tom, I figure you're not going to do the call here because you're going to be leaving
don't-
soon.
I was gonna say I don't
Um,
need to. So
You lock the door, you go downstairs, y'all get in the car. Kyle, you're driving.
Yes, sir.
Who's in the passenger seat?
Well, I know it's not Scraps unless we force him to sit there.
So it's Rosie. She raised her hand first. It's Rosie. Makes sense.
does make
Ladies first.
absolutely.
So as you're driving down the road, Rosie, are you looking at the laptop?
No, I get motion sickness if I do that, so I'm
Okay.
looking outside.
Well, that makes sense because you're sitting here and you kind of notice movement in the passenger mirror. And what catches your eye is that a black SUV has turned onto the road and fallen in right behind another black SUV that's been behind you, and you don't know how long. Just didn't notice it there.
Hey Kyle, we got some black SUVs behind us.
Oh, no problem.
So you can, if you want to look at image 6.1, that's kind of what they look like.
Tom, can you please get on your phone and figure out where the closest police department is?
No, yeah, okay. And then and like of all the things I've been asked to look up, like finding the police is not usually. It's usually the other way around.
And
So
they
yeah,
usually
absolutely.
find
Happy
you.
to help. Happy to help. It'll be a nice change of pace trying to find them for once. And yeah, and I'll just try to Google like local police station or yeah.
Easily done. And
I make my way in that direction, but I also, knowing how people do this stuff, I'm going to make sure I don't put myself in that spot where they're going to split and try to come get me. Because I know that's what they're looking to do.
It's like they're like the second one is just following the first one.
Oh, okay. That's acceptable.
And it's
So
not
I
like
head to the police
precision
department.
driving.
Okay.
So the back one kind of speeds up and slows down and speeds up and slows down. These are not precision drivers.
Okay. I head to the police department.
And the first one is like 15 feet behind your car. You don't know why you didn't notice it. I mean, it literally, these people are not trying to be hidden. Okay. So are you gonna pull off in front of the police station?
Yeah, I park in front of the police station.
Okay.
And
they kind of slow down.
I dial 911.
They kind of slow down and then just keep going.
Okay. I take a picture of their license as they go. What
That's
did they
fine.
look like?
And it was like they were trying to decide what they were gonna do.
What were the people inside the car look like, or could we tell?
Didn't see, it was dark.
Okay, that's fair.
It was dark.
That
So you're
sounds
still gonna
like
call
something-
911? They took off. They've gone down to the end of the street,
Not if
turned.
they pulled past me, I won't call 911.
Yeah, they pulled past you.
Are you going to follow them?
I look over at Scraps and say, "I do like the cut of your jib, homeless guy."
So you're gonna try to follow them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What you see is that they're both pulled over around the corner. And they're just pulled over to the side of the road.
Oh.
You want me to get out and be crazy? I can do it.
What are they out of their cars? or
No,
they
they're
all
just
still
the
in
cars
their
are sitting there running, keeping the heat on.
Okay. So
These people, if they are spies, they never had training in their life.
Alrighty. So I'm going to pull up and I lean back and look I say, "Tom, can you please do your thing with your badge, buddy?"
Absolutely. And I'll just pop out and I'll straighten the very unprofessional looking jacket. Make sure that the shiny plastic is lightly polished and hanging, and just and then saunter up to the vehicles in an exaggerated sort of Chips-esque sort of cop walk.
So you got that strut going.
Oh, 100, like a motorcycle cop.
Are you going to the first one or the second one?
I'm going
the one
to
in front or the one in the back?
Probably the one that is closest to me.
Did you pull in front of them or behind them?
I would pull just in front of them.
Okay, so you're gonna go to the first one.
Yep.
You can't see them. The windows are all tinted. Do you knock on the window? What do you do?
I'll do that thing where I like saddle up kind of sideways and I don't even look at it and just kind of like side knock, like I'm just, and like as like I'm gonna do the imposing turn, like I'm just waiting for them, like I've got better things to do.
The window starts coming down, you do your imposing turn, and a microphone is shoved in your face. And with that will end.
What's new, pussycat?
I was just gonna say, and then
But you're kind of surprised that there's a
the
microphone.
overwhelming
What
urge
the-
to immediately karaoke and just like feel it in my blood.
Yep. So we'll pick it up later. We'll pick it up next time. So that is where we're gonna end for the night. But we do have some announcements. Sally.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern on the YouTube right now. Subscribing is free and you don't miss any of the action and access to all of our shows and content. Your likes and positive comments on the videos help future adventurers find out about our shows as well. Show them.
All right. So before we terminate the data feed, let's have the cast recap who they are. I'm Sholem West. I'm the keeper and of this story. David is my partner. He does the other ones. And you can find me here, and you can find me again on the Three Cousins podcast. It's 3-Cousins. We're everywhere but iTunes right now. And I'll pass it off to Bill.
Hi, I'm Bill. You can find me on most things as Grumpy Lizard 42. I've been playing Scraps, the hillbilly hobo, tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Hope to see y'all next week.
Sean?
This is Sean. I'm playing Tom Jones. This has been an absolute delight. And yeah, I agree with Scraps over here. I can't wait to see you guys all next time and find out what this microphone business is all about.
Sally?
I'm Sally Stardust. You can find me on Instagram. I have been playing Rosie Stone, the elderly former vigilante.
David?
I'm David. I'm Sholem's partner in crime here and sometimes keeper. And I've been playing Kyle Cooperdale, private detective.
All right, Sean, take it away.
A big shout out to our Omega Control, our technical specialist, Jack Kelling. That's, I'm loving the face. That's very nice.
Only we can see.
Only we can
No.
see it.
Well, in that case, then, that's...
So
Everybody else is missing out.
And how. Don't forget to take a look at Dirty Deeds on Wednesday, Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on Thursday, and our special series of dungeon crawls on Saturday with RPG short shots. Side note, with our own keeper, David, will be GMing Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction this Thursday through September, so tune in to see how he D&Ds. Thank you for tuning in and helping us shape this event. We do this for you, and we look forward to your continued feedback and participation.
So join us next week for the second part and conclusion of Confidence. So until next week, this is the Megaphiles crew signing off.
Keep it weird.